Cookie, can you see the
Long.
Discord stream
Sa-
normally?
滅びなさい
No, it's only a quarter.
Yeah. We pretty much only see the like top left quarter.
But hey, I can see that red zone Paimon coming down.
Right.
홍대
got a
씨
pawn.
엠파이
Tempai.
Yeah. temple.
Sanzo time. Sanzo time.
Whoa!
Oh, but this is actually
the
going
last
to be a
one, though.
different deal in. Might be the three pin deal. Oh, just fold. Yeah, dark. There's not enough tiles. Oh no! If you take the Tempai, that's a massive hand.
Oh! Hold it!
Dealers Hote.
Wow. But you have to, right?
I don't know if you have
Do
to.
you?
I don't think you have to.
No.
Hote.
But
No.
you can. But if I was Kinotora, I wouldn't because I'm a coward. But if he was, I think you have to. But I wouldn't.
It's a tough decision. It's definitely close.
Yeah.
Away as well. Yeah, Random Duck is technically one away from Tempai as well. Con opportunity.
Oh, Khan!
Con after.
Wow! Big shot! Wow! Sorry, but wow!
Okay, what's the Ura?
The other one
Oh,
was
he
the
did!
Ura indicator. And there's three, no, two Uratoras. One.
Easy Baimon.
Wow!
Robosloth hitting the clutch con into sumo when your other last weight was the other indicator tile. You found the last tile you could find.
You just get free extra Dora.
16,000. That means all of Robosloth's tiles were in the dead wall. Well, I guess Bladcraft had the others, but like the...
If we have anything in particular. Ah, well, this is a good start. Looks like we had Oya Paimon already. Or no, not even Oya Paimon. This is like
Wait, Sanbai?
San Paimon? Oh. Yeah, San Paimon. Richi
Wait.
Ipatsu Itsu Ipeko Chinitsu. 11 Han.
Oh.
Holy cow.
It's
On a direct hit.
Ipeko is such
Oh my
a
goodness. Whoa.
それ
wow.
So that got things kicked off.
Yeah. The Musta has an interesting looking hand. Has the red 5 and one red tune there, but has all these pinsus for a delicious Menhon Chitoi
Yeah, it's
if they can manage it.
probably more likely just a Honitsu, but oh, do we pull?
I don't- I don't- I don't-
Yes, here it is. They skip the pull and get the
Let's
Tempai.
go. Oh, Musta. Such discipline.
Menhon Chitoi Dora
Chitoi.
Dora.
No slam. No slam. Being real sneaky here.
Oh, there's a slam.
But, oh, come on. Please chase. Please chase.
Surely we're gonna see a chase, yeah.
We gotta see a chase. This is Paimon, right? If
I mean,
Oh,
oh, there it is.
Paimon!
チートイ本一ドラに
insane.
Menhon Chitoi Dora Dora too.
Dora Tour. Oh. Oh, Kodo in shambles.
Unless the sub just comes into this table and sumos Menhon Chitoi Dora Dora.
Yep.
right, welcome everybody. We've finally made it. It is the final day of the finals here, which is 3 Hanchons left. We've already completed the first day of battle. We do have one team, Kamikase, who has pulled out ahead, but still 3 games to go. Can definitely change up here. Joining me on commentary for the final day, we have Curly and Mob. Hey guys.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome, chat. Welcome to the final day.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm excited to see how these games are going to play out.
Yeah, it's Curly, we were just talking, waiting for the stream to start. Your team almost made it into the finals here. You had a close battle and
It was definitely down to the wire. Definitely that the very last game, all last. If it played out a little differently, we could have been up here with these teams. But since now that we're on the sidelines, I'm just gonna chill here and watch to see how it all plays out.
yeah, it's starting to shape up a lot like the semifinals that you played for Chun. They've got off to a rough start here, currently 4th, but that did not slow them down last time. They were able to make the comeback and get into top 2, so we'll see if they can start to make another comeback today to get back into it.
Yeah, it's a similar but very different position. I would say it's the same but more extreme. They are at Chumar's spot is at a way bigger point deficit than they were in the semifinals, and second place isn't quite enough. This is a first place or nothing sort of situation. So they're gonna have to get a lot more things are gonna need to line up for them in order to get out from this 4th place. But as we've seen in Mahjong, anything can happen.
Yeah, certainly. But yeah, it's definitely, I feel at the moment, Kamikase is in control. We'll see how they want to play his final day. I think if it was me, I would still want to play pretty aggressive in this first game. I wouldn't feel too comfortable. Like, you're definitely in a good spot, but I don't think they're safe yet by any means, with still 3 Hanchons to go.
Yeah, that was actually something my team was really talking about in between the weeks. We were in first place for basically the entire regular season. And we were deciding at what point do we play way more defensively or do we just play our normal style and just try not to play anything different? Because if you try to play in a style that you are not familiar with and comfortable with, you may not play it effectively and still lose points anyway. So Kami no Kisai, they do have a really nice first place, but if they try to, take their take their foot off the pedal, loosen the gas, they might slowly build out their points and find themselves in a situation in the final game where they need to get first place.
Yeah, we'll see. We have Ship or Koizo up for Kamikase this first game, who already is kind of a bit more of a defensive player, so we'll see how they want to approach this this spot here. For the other players, for UB Snack Groups, who's in second place, we have Idapon, who is a pretty balanced player. Like 20, you can on the stats here, like 20% win rate, like 11% dealing rate, just like solid stats. Ritsu-san in third place has Akira as their first player today, who we can see has the highest win rate out of any of these players here, pretty high 24% win rate. And Ritsu-san, both Ritsu-san and Schumacher's spot, really the everybody but Kamikase is like has to play really aggressive here, try to get as many points as they can. And then for Schumacher's spot, we have Dalex, who's, I think probably their team is going to be like, we don't got much to lose. Let's just go out there, try to win every hand you can. You can still fold hands. You don't need to Zensu push everything crazy, but definitely I think lean on the side of aggression.
Yeah, that's always such an interesting part of Mahjong for me, is when you have to be like aggressive. There's like a target goal you have to hit, but you can't just go all in and yellow it. There is a bit of still like give and take, bob and weave that you have to do in order to achieve it. And it's a very hard thing to do, to still play efficiently, still play safe, but in a way that potentially is more aggressive to get you more points.
Yeah,
See how they can approach it.
the way I tend to think about it is like I want to at least not, if my hand has like no chance of winning, or if my hand's just cheap, like I'll fold this hand and then like maybe give myself the chance if I get like a lucky dealership later down the line that I haven't bled too many points that it can still, you know, benefit my team.
Yeah, and you also have to account for the UMA spread in this tournament because it's a lot more like to go for the lower positions, third and fourth. You basically never want to get because of how brutal the UMA is.
Yeah, the UMA sort of it's definitely like a bit top loaded. It, like each, you know, from first to second is like a 15. Oh, sorry, from first to second is a 20-point difference, and then from like second to third is like a 15-point difference, and then third to fourth is a 10-point difference. So it's it kind of like the UMA difference is more important towards the top placements. You can definitely make back a lot of points with like a first. All right, well, our match has already started and the delay is just finished, so we can go ahead and load into this first match. We have Ship as the first dealer here, who's, wow, it's got a really nice hand. Double tone pair and 2 door to go along with it. Can also accept the door 2-pin, so that sort of Pinzu Ryoncon is going to get door either way. Although Idapon also has a pretty interesting hand with 2 dragons, the Haku and the Hatsu. Already going to call the Haku there. So a couple strong hands here to get us started.
Yeah, looks like Idapon G may be able to get a really quick hand going. Let's see if they just want to cash that in and just move their dealership along. Ooh, got the 6 of characters right there. That's going to be really helpful.
Kira also, if they can find that 3-pin to complete that sort of door penchant, is also going to have a pretty quick hand here. And then even Daleks has got a pretty decent hand. Yeah, looks like it could go Tanyo Sanshoku, maybe Itsu, but that one seems a little bit further. I think like the Tanyo Sanshoku with Adora looks pretty good. Here's the second Hatsu called. So that's already going to be Tenpai here on 7-mon. For just Hatsu Haku, nothing crazy. If this hand could get Honitsu, it would love it to be a Mongon, but you would have to break Tenpai, so we'll see how greedy Idapon wants to play it.
So now that 2 dragons have been called by Idapon, I'm curious to see how people will treat the red dragon if they draw it. It was not taken when Kwai Zoe dropped it, but that could mean Idapon G just has 1 in their hand and is waiting for a little dragon's weight.
Yeah,
So if someone picks up a red dragon, that might just completely stifle their hand.
definitely. I think it would probably depend on who draws it. Like, you know, maybe like a Kawizo here might not might be a little bit more defensive. If Akira's hand is also like slightly farther from Tenpai, but like Daleks' hand is, you know, quite looking pretty strong here. In fact, actually just gets Tenpai right now. We're gonna see a Richi. So it didn't quite get the Sanshoku, but did get Tanyo Dora here waiting on 3-pin.
Yeah, just goes for the
Uh-oh.
as soon as they hit Tenpai. Ooh, the
Oh,
exact
Idapon is
tile.
gonna dodge here though. Just the Tuhan Tenpai. So recognizing that 3-pin tile right next to the door, did not want to push it, so nice dodge there from Idapon.
And
Yeah,
this is
very,
good too
very
because you
heads
can
up.
keep an Ishon 10 where you could also use the Dora if you really wanted to.
Oh, look at that. You were saying, yep, right now back into Tenpai, drawing another one of the 3-pin. It is Fruity 10, true. So we'd need Tetsumo.
Depending on how if you want to, probably won't come out.
This means that Dalek's weight is now completely dead. So I think the only way this would win is if Idapon ends up cutting the 3-pin. Ship draws, like, has had some good draws, but it's just decided to fold this hand. Just really not close enough to Tenpai to fight.
I also did notice.
Oh no, the 3-pin does come out!
Oh, it does come out.
Deciding that 7 is just too risky to push.
Instead went with the 3-pin, and that's the one that dealt in. So Dalek strikes first here, a pretty decent 5,200 points. Well,
Yeah, kind of showing the downside to calling those dragons so early. If you can't quite close out the hand, you're just going to be stuck on very few tiles.
it did a nice job to avoid cutting the 3-pin right away, but in the end it did Coming out. They have a chance to make some points back here with a possible 1-2-3 Sanshoku, although right now 3-so is the only head for the hand. So we need some draws. Kira's got Dora 2 and could also accept the 5-pin Dora, so now has the south pair if they want to open. Looks like a pretty strong hand. Daleks also has 2 Dora in the 5-pin.
7 characters, very good pickup for Ida Pawn G. Akira only has waiting on one more south to be able to open up their hand and use that Yaku. But they might just end up using it as a pair. We'll see how it plays out. They're still a decent ways away from completing the hand, while Ida Pawn G is going really fast on this dealership. They're already Ishan 10.
Nice here. We get Richi Pinfu can accept that 5-pin Dora.
Can't open up with this hand currently. Picks up the 3 dots. Gonna take a minute to think about what they want to do with it. Gonna go back a step.
This is still also Ishan 10. It's just kind of, you have an extra tile here, which is like that 3-pin or that 4-so. Neither tile is like doing too much. You could even just like swap it out for a safe tile. Because you're kind of fixed on this like Ryamen.
Yeah, Ida Pawn now is just kind of dancing around like what they want their final Tenpai hand to be.
Oh, had a chance to maybe change the head to 7-mon, and then you had a chance to draw 4-mon into the Sanshoku, but doesn't. Would have been hard to get regardless.
Oh, I just noticed Daleks Cross just picked up 2 Dora.
They've
They're also Ishan 10.
getting close
So,
here.
Yeah.
We need to. Does have some tough shapes to finish off here. Sort of like 3 pairs. It's like 8-so, 5-pin, 9-9, 8-mon isn't the strongest shapes to try to find their way into Tenpai, but does have the value.
Yeah, everyone's hands are kind of stagnated right now. They're not really drawing what they need.
Ida Pawn finally gets that Pinfu Tenpai here.
一瞬先見えた
We have 5 8-pin weight.
One of each.
Yeah, the 5-pin remaining is the Aka 5-pin, so it's a potential to get Door 2 here. Oh, we have another Tenpai drawn here from Ship, who is actually just going to go ahead and Oculus Dama this. Doesn't want to commit to Richi, so this is, you know, kind of telling how he wants to play. Also, this weight isn't that great. We look, and now in fact it's just going to break. He doesn't want to declare Richi on, I think it was like something like a 4-tile weight.
Yeah, especially against delay.
Oh, and the 8-pin's going to come out from Akira. So it will deal in here for Ida Pawn. Doesn't hit any Ura, so just Richi Pinfu. You know, about as cheap as it's going to get for dealing into a Richi, Richi.
Yeah, Ida Pawn G gonna lock that one in and continue on this dealership. Try to make up some of the points that they lost. Wasn't able to do it on that first hand. Let's see if they can do it on this second. But the starting hand from Ida Pawn G is not looking too good. Kira's actually got a bunch of... Ooh, okay. Kira's hand is actually looking really good.
Yeah, I think that definitely looks like the strongest hand at the table at the moment. We have 3 players.
Everyone has to take time to discard a bunch of honors to try to accelerate their hand.
Yeah, we have 3.
Daleks got a very unfortunate high pie over here.
Yeah, we kind of have a couple weak high pies. Ida Pawn and Daleks.
7p from Akira is perfect. It's like the hardest tile to hit for their hand, and they just got it so early. So Akira looking strong contender to be the first into Tenpai.
Oh, let's see if they keep 1 pin for an Itsu chance. Or if they want to just keep the wider... No, they're just going to keep the wider Ishan 10 here. They're already Kitsuki Ishan 10, and they just want to keep the best floating tiles of the 7-so and 6-mon.
Yeah, at this point in the day and at this point in the table with the point totals, you don't need to force all the crazy value. You can just get some okay hands and kind of go along. What's interesting about this hand right here is that the East Dora, or the East Wind, is the Dora indicator. We have all three players with one in hand, and they seem to be holding on to it, not wanting to feed into someone else because that has a lot of potential value. We'll see who decides to pull the trigger to drop it, and I imagine the rest will come out. But some hands might get stifled, and you might get some inefficient draws and discards until that happens.
Yeah, especially since all three of these hands are a bit on the weaker side, so I don't think any of them are too gonna be looking to cut that door too early. It's like the earliest hand I would want to is Ship. Okay, Ship is gonna cut it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ship had a couple of nice draws there that pulling in that penchant, so they do end up cutting that Dora.
Kind of unfortunate for Akira. After dropping that Kutsuki tile, they immediately drew something that would have gone into the weight.
Yeah, they decided to swap for the 3-so, sort of hoping to draw into a pair on the 1-1-1-3. Although that is a free 10 shape if they do happen to draw the 5-8-so and wanted to take that weight. I guess the 8-so you would just take 6-9-so, so it's kind of only the 5-so, which might be a little awkward.
Yeah, they may have just not noticed they had dropped it earlier.
Alright, well, here we're going to probably take a 3-6-pin Tenpai. So, Riichi Door 1. And see if that's enough to just make everyone fold here. No one seems that close to Tenpai.
Yeah, all the 6s are accounted for. It looks like there's only one 3-pin out in the wall for Akira to sumo.
Maybe Idapon can try to Mawashi something. They are Ishanten. They could go Tanyao, like they'd have to discard like a 1-chance 9-pin. So we might see a fight from Idapon.
Yeah, they can at least safely try to get into Tenpai with this hand to hold on to their dealership. That might be what they're looking for in this last row.
Yeah, 8-pin also would be like a safe discard, so you could also just like, if you get 7-mon, just cut 8-pin and have Yakulis Tenpai on 2-pin. It's gonna end up cutting the 6-mon here. Didn't want to try the 1-so even if it was Kabe.
Yeah, in these situations, you never know when they could just, like,
You haven't
if your hand is a little too risky,
yeah, you
don't
hadn't
wanna
seen
wait.
any of the 1-so, so it was a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, all the 3s are out, so there's probably not some sort of Ryaman shape that's going for it, but they could be, like, waiting. They could have, like, 2 1-sos in hand and, like, another pair somewhere else. That could also be the wait.
Oh, there's gonna be the Tsumo.
ごめんな
Wow,
さい
this one.
Find the only tile that they could have sumoed with right on time.
ドラ
No order from this hand either. So 5,200 points here. And on to Kier's dealership, who does have a nice double tone start.
Daleks also has a double green dragon start. So this one might be pretty quick. Kawaii Zoe has at least 2 Dora in hand. And so does Idapon G. So let's see. This might be a really quick and decent value hand coming from these players.
Yeah, I think the hands are generally just overall pretty stronger than the last round we saw. Chance to call the double tone, so Kier's gonna take that. And already Kutsuki Ishanten, I think probably keeping that 6-0 would have been worth it here just to extend your Tenpai options. Opts to hold the Chun instead. Probably thinking about a Honitsu if you can. Maybe it wants to go like a pair of Chun and then break. Oh yeah, there's definitely a Honitsu.
they're
So
forcing that.
trying to go for some value here. This would be Mongon if it works. So gonna go for the value play here.
Honestly, I don't know if I like that, just because it's like North and Red Dragon are just so hard to get.
チ
It's definitely a lot slower. Like you had a very fast Ishanten, but maybe thinking it's early enough in the round that have time to greed for some value. Ooh, con chance. Here we go.
Mhm.
There we go.
It's an 8, so oh man, that would have been nice.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Unfortunate. That would have been a Mongon, where they kept the 2/8 though.
Yep, there's that Mongon they were trying to hard force. At the very least, ooh, okay, there's Dora. Now they're gonna go back to trying to form a hand that isn't a flush because they picked up that Dora.
He at least wants the flexibility of gonna hold that. Oh, probably gonna see Chuntonki here, I imagine. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is not the time you want to DC.
Uh-oh, disconnect.
Okay, they're back.
All right,
Chi.
cool.
And I think we're gonna probably see Chuntonki. Yep, there we go. Pretty good weight, 2 in the wall, 1 in Idapon's hand, although the Shangpai Chun into these 3 calls is a bit scary.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about playing it this way is that everyone on the table knows exactly what you're doing. You've given up 3. I mean, they weren't Dora when you discarded them. There are 3 Dora in your discards, and you just gave up 1 of them in the second row. After all these calls, any sort of honor or like dot is going to be dangerous against Akira.
Yeah. It's still 2 to Tsumo, so it's not all bad.
Chi.
Idapon
Oh,
is
still opting to fight.
yeah. This is gonna be pretty tough. I guess just figuring like might as well chi and see what happens. They're not really pushing. They like chi and then cut 1 mon. Oh, they pair up the Chun. Okay,
Oh,
so
just shift the wall.
it's still not gonna be that easy. Yeah, they still have like
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty tough for the hand to get Tenpai because they have like 2 pin and 7 pin also.
Yeah.
Daleks gets a Hatsu Anko. So it's Ishan Sen for them. No, they're just gonna cut the 8 mon instead.
Yeah,
Really
looks
worried
like
ab-
everyone is being very cautious about these dots. No one's discarded any of them.
Yeah, Dalek's probably, I guess, a little bit worried about why Idapon is calling and doesn't want to try dropping that Dora. Okay, so we have a weight shift, and the Chun is going to be pawned by Idapon.
It's 3 mon to start.
He's thinking about it here. He's actually going to go for the 8 mon instead.
Okay.
So Idapon's still trying to be safe with how they push this hand.
Another disconnect.
Kira. Hopefully their internet remains stable here.
Yeah, fortunately for them, the White Dragon was probably going to be their discard anyway.
Yeah, it's disconnecting in this exact hand isn't really that bad because there's not many tiles you actually want to shift on your draw, and at least you can still win while disconnected.
Okay, we have a pause here because the players were concerned about Akira's connection. It looks like it has been sorted out, so we will get the game started back up momentarily.
Yeah, I don't really see anyone getting Tenpai here other than Akira. Just everyone's playing a little too cautious for that, which is fair given the situation.
Yeah, it's just so hard to want to push anything into like this very obvious half flush.
3 pin?
3 come out. That was a little scary.
Why did 3 pin come out? Didn't make any sense.
Oh no.
Yeah, didn't get punished for it, but yeah, that discard didn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, it worked out for them, especially in double. If it passed once, it'll pass the second time. Oh yeah, now. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, the 1P just came out, so that was informed Alex's decision.
You're probably just swapping to the Hatsu just because thinking that one pin is less likely to deal in.
Yeah.
But does collect the Tenpai payments here. It's able to scare everyone off with the 22.
Oh, Idapon G has a really quick hand, and it just got even faster.
Already starting with that North Onko. We'll see what they want to do with the Dora. Like, it's gonna, if they want to go efficient, it's probably gonna be. Well, I guess there's the first chance to call the 1-so, but it's gonna stay closed for now, which I think I like this early. You don't really need to rush to call for just like a cheap hand. Yeah, passing the 8 pin as well. So I like this decision from Idapon. I'm gonna try for a Ricci with a pretty strong hand and end up swapping the Dora Hatsu for the Dora 5-mon, which is just a lot easier to use with that hand.
Yeah, definitely. But Akira looks like they're also assembling a decently quick hand.
Idapon is a pretty tough choice here. 2-mon's their only pair, so they really want to keep that. But then do they kill Ramen Ramen or do they want to try to use the Akka 5-mon? Because the most efficient discard here is Akka 5-mon. Oh, I don't like throwing the 2-mon back. I think that's the worst decision. You have to, I think, cut either 5-3-mon or one of your Ramen. Cutting your only pair, I think, is a... You want to take Ishanten. Like, just take some Ishanten.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad to go back to 2 Shanten, even if it is pretty early. And now it's going to chi the 4-mon. I think if this was your plan, you should just take Ramen Ramen, because I'd rather be, you know, Ramen Ramen Ishanten of no Dora than this Ishanten with a Dora but open. And now it's going to be Tonki Tenpai. So just find their way to Tenpai. This is just going to be 2,000 on Rollin or 27 on Sumo, I guess, with the Honba as well.
Okay, looks like they're going to swap it up for potential wider weight on pair, or also, you know, red 5 acceptance if you draw yourself.
Kieran not keeping the 1-pin pair. That was perfect Ishanten if they kept that. Really trying to force this Sun Shoku. Hoping for that 1-mon draw. The opponent swapped to 6-9-so now.
Yeah. I think these players are actually really considering their point totals within the context of the entire game or the entire tournament, because we do see some people trying to greed for slightly bigger hands. They just try to get as many points as they can when they can, because each of these players is only playing one game, so you got to try to get what you can for your team when you can.
Now right as they cut away from the Sun Shoku, they end up drawing the 1-mon. And there's going to be the 9-so come out from Ship. But it's going to be a cheap deal in here. So.
Yeah, it's always rough in this game when you decide to zig instead of... When you were zagging for so long, you decide to zig. And it turns out you should have kept on zagging.
On to Dalex's dealership here in East 4. The Monzu shapes are looking quite nice. The rest of the hand is not so great, but we'll see what the draws are going to be here. That Dora 3-pin kind of, I guess, shuts down any ideas of maybe trying to go Honitsu. But speaking of Honitsu, we do have Idapon, who's got pretty good setup for Honitsu. Let's see if they want to call the South. Call South and maybe cut Pinzu. I think that's how I would probably want to play that hand, but no, the Idapon's going to skip.
Yeah, I like their pin shapes and their character shapes, even though they have like a bunch of them. They're not that great, so I don't know. Like, Honitsu for right upon G actually feels like a pretty like far off route.
It's a bit far off. I just like Honitsu as a way to get value with an open hand. Because it's not the easiest hand to complete closed for Ricci. You really kind of want to call with all those like 9-mon south and June pair.
Yeah, well, it looks like now they're gonna try to force it a little harder.
It could be that they still want to go Honitsu and they just didn't want to call the south, thinking it's kind of a low impact first call. Well, I guess they draw 8 pins, so at this point, actually gonna cut south. Keeping the 1-mon around for a chance at E2.
Yeah, honestly, I do like how Idapon G played out this hand. See if it works out for them. They got some really fortunate draws to finish it out, though.
6-mon is a nice upgrade for Akira, who now gets to shift to Tanyo as well. Just gonna go ahead and lock that in early.
5-mon, very nice for Idapon G.
Ship's gonna be the first at Senpai though, who with door 2 is gonna take this pinch on Ricci. On the 2-mon. Excuse me, Conchon. Kira does get a useful draw here on Ipatsu and 7-so. And yeah, they're gonna fight. Discard the 2-so. So have a Ramen Ramen Ishanten. 7-mon is also going to be Tenpai here, going to Dama E2.
Yep.
Oh man, we have 2 players waiting on this 2 of characters. Ooh, that 1. Okay, 8's gonna come out. We're gonna get a swap from Idapon G. Here we go. Way bigger weight. 258. Thank you, new spectator client. I made my job a
Oh,
lot
wait, now
easier.
gets the Ipatsu on the 5, so...
And it gets a Patsu.
Just wait one turn.
And an Ura! Okay, so turned the Ricci Nomi into 7,900 points here. The classic combo of Ricci Nomi into Ipatsu Ura. Power
Crazy
of
how the
Ricci.
game works out sometimes.
So does shut down Ship's Ricci, who even if their team is in first place, they definitely would like to do better than a 4th here, but very much still in this game. It's been quite back and forth here. First place, still only at 35,000 points. Got quite a nice starting hand here from Daleks. He's got some really nice shapes already. Drawing a pair in 7-pin. This is already going to be perfect Ishanten. In turn 3. There's a chance to use the 5-mon door as well. Idapon also with a pretty decent hand. Does have 2 Dora, but it's a lot slower.
Okay.
6-0 is an improvement. Yeah, it cuts the 4-mon. And it's slightly wider. You get an extra tile here in 3-so.
Yeah, Dalek's hand looking crazy good right now.
It's not quite Tenpai. You can swap the 6-so for the 4-so if you want a narrow Ishanten that has Ipeko chance. You're basically swapping 3-so for 4-so, and since you're already holding the 4-so in hand, yeah, they're gonna make this play. So it's a narrow Ishanten by 2 tiles. I guess it's actually by 3 tiles because you also lose the 6-so. But you do gain the Ipeko on the 5-so draw, so chance for a bit more value here.
Yeah, it's a bit more value, but I wonder if that's worth it in terms of getting your acceptance for it, because now you're pretty far away, and it looks like you're just on 5-so at this point.
No, because you can still accept the 5-8-so here. You can just cut the 4-so and end up waiting 5-8-so.
Yeah, you could. Oh, okay, yeah, I see. Yeah.
So you're basically just trading 6-so, 3-so for 4-so.
ち
I'm gonna open up. Does of course still have this Dora, so you know, trying to build a valuable Tanyo hand here.
Yeah, and Kawhi's always just been calling like crazy. Just I'm gonna try to get something out of this dealership, even if it's not anything valuable right now. They want to hold on to it, try to build up their value. They're in 4th place. This is their last, potentially their last dealership of the W League. Got to get something for it.
Yeah, and after 3 calls, they have found their way to Tempai. It's not a great wait. In fact, it's none left in the wall.
On and worked out, Ipeko.
There it is. Yep, that is the reason to do it this way. You drew the perfect tile here. Now just deciding if they want to reaching. Yep, there goes the stick. Ship. And just go ahead and cut the Suji 7 on here. Can't really defend here, so gonna try just have to fight it out and hope, I think, is for the most part. The 2-5 mon wait. Let's see, there's one more of the Dora. Then looks like 2 more 2-mon.
Yeah, I think Kawhi's always going to try to hold on to this weight as best they can because it is Gambutsu against the Ricci player, so that might trip up someone else. But that's not going to work out. Akira's going to deal it into Daleks for a... Ooh, we got 4 Han right here. Ricci, Pifu, the Ipeko, and the Red 5. Didn't get any Underdoor with it, but still a pretty good hit. That's going to put them in 1st place.
Nicely played by Akira, excuse me, by Daleks, who sort of kind of went for the greedy Ipeko and got rewarded there with essentially a Mungon. Well, hold on. Idapon's got a pretty nice hand here. Another pair is pretty interesting. Chances at like Chitoi, Sanonko, Ipeko. A lot of different ways this hand could go.
Okay, decides to cut the 4 pin right there. Yeah, looks like they're...
Oh man, Chip
wow.
already drawing
Wait,
into
look at
10-5 that 1 mon. It's not a crazy hand, just 2-5 so Ricci Nomi, but extremely early Ryumin weight. They're going to be happy with that.
Okay, Idapom G is gonna drop the 1 dot. If it passes, you got 2 more rounds of it, and you can try to get more information about what's safe against Koizoi. Yeah, even though the weight, I mean, the value's not that fantastic, it's a pretty decent weight. The turn 3 Ricci just puts so much pressure on the rest of the table. They'll have to do some inefficient discards in order to not deal in.
Yeah, it's definitely not much information to defend with.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's gonna pick up a very defensive stance on this one. The last thing you want is the 4th place player to come out from under their 4th and swap places with you.
Alex trying to figure out where to go from here, if there's anything better than north. Looking at their options.
Actually forming out really well.
It does have a 2 Shanten. Ducks decides to go with the 8 pin. Suji to the 5 pin. Worried about the north seat wind. Thing is, for Akira, is all the Manzu looks pretty dangerous. Yeah, so just gonna go ahead and cut the 8 pin. Oh, Chusotsumal. So Chip gonna get some points back here. And hits an Ura. Okay, so that's a, you know, not a bad win there. 4,000 points. It at least gets them closer. In fact, out of last already. Overtaking Akira with that one. Oh wow, that looks a nice looking hand for Idapon. Nice looking hand for Akira as well. Some pretty quick high pies.
Yeah, see if Akira wants to do with this White Dragon door. Ooh, okay. There we go. At 8 so. Fantastic for them.
Yeah, early cut of the Chumon keeping the east. I wonder if they're thinking about a Honitsu. We saw them force a Honitsu earlier on their dealership. I wonder if they're thinking about doing it again here.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta feel for a certain Yaku at a table. This, like, today, Honitsu might be your lucky Yaku.
Idapon maybe
It's
all.
trying to force a more expensive Yaku as well, since it's a pretty close game in South 3.
Idapon drawing a lot of Monzu here.
Chi.
It's definitely also thinking about a Honitsu. Yeah, here we go.
After that call.
It looks like this might turn into Monzu versus Sozu, depending on how Idapon's hand shapes up. Still has a strong Ryamen in Pinzu, so you know hasn't committed to the Chinitsu or Honitsu yet, but is definitely keeping the option open. Oh well, there you go. Never mind.
Ooh.
Just gonna fill. Oh, okay, huge draw there.
Huge.
Door pair up.
I was just about to say, we've only seen one white dragon in the first row in anyone's hand. So they're all on the wall. We'll see who gets what when. It looks like Akira's going to pick up a pair of them. Massive for them.
It's already gonna be Tenpai and Formon. Ippei Ko Dora.
It's unfortunate that that red 5, Akira could not accept it.
I would love to call that one for sure. Uh-oh, Dora for ship. We'll see. Yeah, this is a pretty tough one. Okay, yeah. Not gonna go ahead and discard the Dora. We'll see if they get Tenpai, if they'll be tempted, but it's definitely a scary one. Oh, well, here you go. Here's Tenpai. It might come out.
Well, it's not
Yeah,
gonna
there it
hurt.
goes.
It's not going to kill them, but now it's very scary.
Everyone is gonna be terrified of Dealer here. Showing at least 4 Hans. Actually cutting away from the 8-9, so looking to maybe try to wait Tonki on the east, although you do lose a lot of acceptance this way. 6-mon draw could improve Idapon's Tenpai. Go ahead and cuts the 9-mon, swaps the 4-7-mon. Now on Adama Pinfu.
Okay, Kawhi, he's going to hold on to that green dragon. Yeah, any honor against any of these players looks pretty dangerous. Especially against Akira. Oh, you got both of them.
Go ahead and go Hatsu Hatsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this unfortunately isn't Tenpai because it didn't hold the 8-9 so.
No, Dalek's Tenpai is 1-1-2-5.
Yeah, that looks like no Yaku, so just trying to Tsumo.
Or at least have a Tenpai.
Akira did draw into Tenpai, so 1-2-3 so wait here.
Yeah, their entire hand is red. One to look at, but probably not going to work out unless... Nope.
Uh-oh, 7-mon final draw. It's going to be Hoite dealing to the Dama
Hoite.
Pinfu Dora. Wow, we started day 1 with a Haite, now we start day 2 with a Hoite.
Luckily not the Takame.
At least wasn't the 4-mon, but that's an unfortunate draw there, dealing into the Dama on the Hoite. Alex still in a positive second, but that is a painful hit here. See if they can get any points back on their dealership. This is all last already. Still incredibly close game here.
This is a close game, but if you're many of these teams, you don't want a close game. You want a blowout. Dalek's here on Chumar's spot. Big 4th place negative for their team. So this is Dalek's opportunity to try to dig their team out from this 4th place. They have a dealership. They can keep it going. They have 1st place within their sights. Let's see if they can cash it in.
I think definitely gonna want to aggressively play for 1st place here. The UMA difference is a full like 20 points between 1st and 2nd, so it's the most important position to fight for from 2nd up to 1st. So I think even if you risk losing, dropping down your placement, probably going to want to try to fight this hand. And they do actually have a pretty quick hand here. Already Ishan 10. I guess already Tushan 10.
Yeah.
It's still pretty quick.
Yeah, the character tiles are not quite formed out yet. Close though.
Orso is an
Okay, that could help.
improvement. You do also have a Sanshoku chance, which Alex is definitely noticing here. Prioritizing the Sozu Riemen over the Monzu, like Sun and Chan when choosing which head to lock here. The chance at that 4-5-6. Ship with a chance to go Tanyao. See if they want to go that direction. It's gonna start with just a 3-mon, not gonna commit quite yet.
7-pin fantastic. Draw for right upon G. Their hand's still a little slow, but that 7-pin's gonna help.
Oh, great draw.
Oh,
Alex.
okay.
Sanshoku Ishan 10 here now. Kira is also Ishan 10, who looks like they are 1,400 points behind. So Richinomi Rong wouldn't quite do it, but Richinomi Tsumo or direct hit.
Huh. 7-mon's an interesting pickup.
Yeah, gonna go Chitoy. 5
Yeah,
pairs.
Itoy-san.
Also Ishan 10 for ship now. Everyone Ishan 10. Who's gonna be first to Tempai? Ship also with a Sanshoku chance. So 2 different Sanshoku Ishan 10s.
Okay, yeah, it looks like upon G is just.
Oh, and that's actually going to be the Tempai. Are we going to see a Richi from Ship? Yep, sure are.
Mhm.
4-7-pin. The 4-pin is the Sanshoku end. Ship actually with a chance at a Mongon. Could not quite get first place, but be
No, but
at
a
least second place.
is also just fine.
Oh, here's another Tempai from Akira who's going to Richi. Now Ship actually could get first place if they sumo the...
Chi
Open.
here.
We are going to see a
Chi
Chi.
gets in
Ooh, okay.
Tempai Autozuke on the 6-so. See if they are willing to push the 2-so to keep Tempai against the 2 Richis. Aggressive as Dalek's gonna play here. They're too scared of the 2-so here. Gonna back away.
I don't like that. You already did the call to try to. Ooh, you already did.
Oh,
the
no,
call
my
to try to
gosh,
get
that's the
Senpai.
open. That's first place for Ship. Gets the Takame Sanshoku, and if I've done my math right, the extra stick I think is enough. There it is. Wow. So Ship
Exactly. what-
coming all the way back to have just enough there with the Sanshoku Tsumo to go all the way up to first place.
Wow, crazy. That was the exact amount they needed.
And now Kamino Kaisei is in an absolutely dominant position here with another first place. This is going to be quite the commanding lead for them here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot harder for the rest of these teams to try to make up that point difference.
We can see it.
Kamino Keisai has to get like 2 back-to-back 4th place for any other team to have any sort of chance.
Yeah, look at these standings. 108 points over second place. Definitely running away with this one at the moment. Still 2 games, so it could change things up, but that clutch Tsumo and all last there from Ship might have been close to locking it up for their team here. We'll see We'll see if Sentry now, like, before I was saying, like, maybe you don't want to play that safe. I think now Sentry can start to play pretty safe. We'll see how their team wants to play it, but it feels like you could almost even survive fourth, depending on what happens. Just, like, you don't want to bleed out too big a fourth. And if you can third
survive.
places are great if you can take those.
Yeah, it's Kami no Keisai. You could definitely survive potential fourth place, but it gets a little risky. If you get third place, as long as you don't get fourth as Kami no Keisai, it seems like first place is locked in. It seems. Something crazy could happen. We have seen crazy things happen, but it's the window for everyone to try to get out from under second place or more is starting to shrink. It's getting less and less.
So here we do have our round 2 matchup. We do notably have Elgato up for Chun Marks the Spot, who was the one who made the miracle comeback for their team to make it into the finals. So yeah, we'll see if they still can channel some of that flow that was able to make that remarkable reversal. I mean, can't quite the gap. It wasn't 215 points. It has an even bigger hole to claw out of this time, but
Oh yeah.
I think last time made up on like, I want to say like 120 points or something in one game. So, you know, if you see something like that, maybe you can still give their team a chance. I don't know. We'll see if asking a repeat performance of that game in back-to-back matches is not going to be easy, but you know, you never know. We did just see it happen this week.
It's also just going to be a lot harder for these down teams to try to like make any sort of comeback because you need haymakers. You need really big hits, and those haymakers can be a lot easier to defend against.
Yeah. If I was in Kami no Keisai's spot, I would definitely just be sort of on like Yakuman alert, like, well, those discards look a little suspicious. Maybe I'll just like play around this random Kokushi Tenpai or like, yeah, I don't know, just, you know, someone's called a Chun and I don't see any Haku. Maybe I won't cut this Hatsu until I see someone else clear Dragon first. Just, you can afford to play like extremely paranoid.
Yeah, so it's going to be on all these other teams to try to force their own luck, try to forge their own destiny, try to make the wins, because they're not going to get any charity from Kami no Keisai.
Right, we'll see when the players... Oh, it seems like the players are already ready to go.
Yeah, I'm down for jumping right into the next one. Well, we will have to still wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, I haven't quite started yet, but I think the players are already ready to get going here. It's kind of the nice thing about the finals is just the 4 teams remaining here, so you don't have to wait for anyone else's game to finish up.
I'm trying to look at these player stats to see if gives me any sort of extra insight on how they're going to approach these games. But a lot of these stats kind of take into like a neutral consideration where you're just trying to win this one game and you're just trying to move on rank ladder. But in a tournament setting where you have your goals in place, you need to hit certain thresholds, definitely drastically changes how everything gets played. It's one of the reasons why I do like tournament mahjong.
Yeah, it's definitely fun fun challenge to have to think about all these things. I think I feel like if any of these teams have a chance to, you know, if they see like a 9 terminal on our start, I feel like maybe probably keep that one and hope for the Yakuman rather than abort like you normally would. Because that's
Yeah,
a Yakumon's something that like maybe could get you back in this.
A Yakuman from UB Snack Groups or Ritsu-san definitely puts them in contention. Chun Marks the Spot needs like 2 or 3.
Yeah, it is looking rough for them, for sure. You know,
Yeah,
this,
there's some dealer Yakuman too, specifically.
dealer Yakumon. I think we have a double Yakumon on, so you can always do like the Oya Suwanko Tonki.
Oh yeah.
And you know,
like
there you go,
96,000.
9,600 points easy.
Yeah.
Which I guess wouldn't even fully. You could win Oya Yakumon and still not be in first.
Well, at this point, for Chun Marks the Spot, it's not even just like getting for like they need first place in this game, but it's not even to just like take first place in the total standings. It's to set up the final game to have
Yeah.
a shot, because you just need this point total to be not as drastic of a difference. Basically, this is the layup game. You need to just set up your teammates to drive it home.
Just trying to get at least within striking distance, which is not going to be easy. We'll see. See if these teams are able to target Sentry down, make the final game a little bit closer. There is the option to play for like second and third, but there really isn't like any prizes. I mean, even we don't you know, we're just playing for glory, so there isn't really prize for first either. But I feel like nobody remembers who gets second. Like I couldn't tell you who got second like any of the other seasons. Like people only remember who got first. So there is a prize. What is the prize? Oh, I roll for Discord. Okay, yeah. that is good. True. That is a good prize. So yeah, it is. I'd say, you know, might as well like try to fight for first, even if it's, you know, a 1% chance to actually get there. The consolation prize of second, I feel like, you know, you're just the first loser.
Yeah, at this point, I rather go all in to try to hit this first place than settle for like a second or third.
I feel a little differently when there's like if you're playing, you know, something like the Whale Cup, where there actually is like prizes for second and third. As well
Yeah,
as fourth,
there's definitely like if there's a difference between second and third and trying to hit those, if first looks so unreachable, then
Yeah.
you can play towards the second. But that doesn't appear to be the case. So now it's just try to send everything and the kitchen sink at trying to get this first place, because
yeah.
you literally have nothing else to lose.
Maybe in game 3, if like you're in a position where it's like, okay, I'm 3 Yakumon range out of first place, you know, maybe I will just try to at least improve my team's placement from a second to or from a third to a second or something like that. I could respect that if the first place chances effectively reached 0. But we're not quite there yet. We still have 2 games.
As team captain for my team, if we were in Chun Marks the Spot like position, I would just tell them completely send it, everything.
Yeah,
every
you might as
time.
well just have fun with it.
Go for it. Yeah.
You actually have nothing to lose at this point. Like, no one's gonna blame Elgato if they happen to get a 4th here. It's like, you know, whatever, we were already so far out of it, but you know, if Elgato hits the 1% like miracle lottery and like actually gives their team a fighting chance, that would be something that people would remember.
Yeah, you gotta shoot your shots. You miss all of the baskets that you don't try to shoot for.
Still waiting for the players to get queued here. So Still have a bit of time before this second match here. Gonna have to wait for the delay.
Now, while we wait, I just want to say thank you again to all the W League staffers who've gone above and beyond to make this, what has it been, 12 plus week, 13 if you're including the draft, 14 if you're including the week that we had in between. That is like, oh my god, we started this in March or something, and multiple months, math is hard right now, of just putting in time and energy to make this league work. Making sure everyone's set up properly, make sure all the captains have all the tools that they need. There's just a lot of time and energy to go into it. And if you haven't thanked them already, please do.
Yeah, I'd say definitely the mostly Kodo. If you're gonna thank anyone, just thank Kodo. I think Kodo's probably put in more work than the rest of the staff combined, although.
Thank you, Kodo.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
There are definitely staff members who put in, I think, probably a bit more effort than I have. But yeah, I think it's been Kodo holding this thing down. The whole thing's sort of his league, so yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun.
And then also thank you to Cookies for consistently making great trailers.
Yeah, the trailer's definitely been a lot of fun.
Oh, that's how those are made. Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Like, who's making all of these? These are awesome.
Yeah, it's been all
Yeah,
Cookies.
it's always Cookies.
We had a bunch of updates throughout the regular season, and then we got a special video for the semifinals, and now one for the finals as well. And then yeah, Christine also helped us with this slick-looking layout, which has been definitely an upgrade from the previous seasons, where we basically just had the Mahjong Soul window with like a small little W League over like a sticker basically in the top right, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to do hosting this year, but last year it was just, I had to just make up my own layout and kind of just go with it. I do love that you guys have a very consistent setup for it now.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
who,
great.
if somebody finally figured out how scenes worked in OBS and that you could just like export them,
Yes.
and that was huge. Because
a game
the
changer.
previous seasons, like everybody who hosted had to like recreate all the scenes. I don't know how like none of us knew how scenes worked, because like everybody who was hosting was a streamer, so I would have thought that like someone would have understood how scenes work, but I didn't understand how scenes worked. And if someone did understand how scenes worked, they kept that information from the rest of us. So it was a lot of a big pain. But now we have this. We were able to figure out the scene exporting, and that saved a lot of work.
It kind of makes sense to me because most of the streamers that were like hosting tend to only just like, you know, work in their own space. They never have to share their stuff with anyone
Right.
else.
Yeah, that's probably why. I mean, I never even like clicked on the scenes button in OBS. So
Alright, our game has started. Wait for the delay.
we got just a little under 4 minutes or so.
About 4.5 as we tick down to game 5 of the finals. Kodo doing some credits to YouTube tutorials on how to get all the OBS stuff set up. Kind of goes to show how powerful of a tool just like YouTube videos are. Not even just for any sort of thing. You can also use it for Mahjong. There's a lot of videos available for how to get better at Mahjong and at all skill levels.
Definitely a useful resource. That's how I set up my my stream when I was getting started. 'Cause I didn't want to figure out how all the settings work, so I just found some video where it's like, just use these settings, and I just copied the settings, and I was like, okay, this is good enough, and then I haven't changed it since. I haven't done any stream updates in, like, I don't even know, if I've been streaming for like 2 years or something, I feel like I just started, but somehow it's flown by.
It really does feel that way. I only ever do updates on there's a thing that I want to improve on or have something a little better. I have to wait until I have like the motivation to update that.
Yeah, your stream has all kinds of effects. You got like all those cool I don't know how you trigger those. Do you have like just like almost like a soundboard or something of effects, or is it like commands that you type? I don't even notice, but you can do all those like reachy effects, right? You throw up the sticks on the screen and things like that.
It's a Stream Deck macro. So if you are streaming, I definitely recommend getting a Stream Deck because it can just make a lot of the experience of streaming a lot easier. You can just have buttons that do almost everything for you in like one button. But yeah, I have the emotes that spam the chat and play as a sound clip. It required a bit of like setup to do, but once you get the end result, it looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, those are definitely
thank you
fun.
so much, Kodo, for the shout out spamming my channel in the chat.
I think so one of like the most fun streams I watched was back when Timo was still streaming. You could as a chatter, you could like play different videos on the stream. There was a bunch of classic iconic videos where it's like, you know, you'd be in Ricci and then like someone would chase your Ricci and like you could play like a car chase video. And then, or like you would, you know, because like of course everyone was trying to snipe Curly or try to snipe Timo. So like whenever there'd be like someone to snipe the stream, there'd be like a sniper little clip. It's just there was a lot of funny videos.
Yeah, channel point redeems is like an area of the streaming that I need to like really get into. I don't even know like my channel point economy at all. I don't know how many points everyone has. So, and I made redeems like 2 years ago, and I haven't updated them like at all. It's definitely a very fun side of the Twitch streaming community and just how it all works.
We've killed enough time that we're almost in here. Game is about to get going here. We'll see if Elgato or pretty much the rest of these 3 teams, User, Giant Robot, if anyone can definitely Sentry is going to be the one all these teams are going to be targeting here. See if try to close down this big lead.
I'm hoping to see some truly degenerate Mahjong play, which is my favorite.
Well, we might get it from Gato. Just looking at that hand. But they decide to not go for Kokushi.
Not out the gate. But it might have been the play. Their hand does not look that fantastic to start.
No.
But maybe you just have to find your moment. You can't force every hand to try to be the crazy Yakuman hand.
You just still have a bit of time. Try to make something back. Like this could be Chanta Sanshoku from Elgato. That would be a big hand.
Yeah, they're getting good draws.
Sentry's hand, although Sentry's hand is looking awfully good here. It was already here. Got Ryaman Remini Shanten.
Ooh, pick up that 3 of characters for Elgato. That's huge.
Yeah, we'll see. They're thinking if they want to go for the Chanta or if just the Sanshoku's enough here. Baiting the discard. Yeah, it's wants keeping that West around. Which could be the head for that Chanta hand. Oh man, 8-pin, okay.
Wow.
Looking like a reality.
Getting somewhere.
I mean, this is how it starts.
It's still pretty far. It's like Sentry's ends a
Yeah.
lot quicker, but you never know.
Yeah.
Sentry looking very disappointed about the draws that they got. They discarded
three,
the 3 of
2, 0.
bamboo, proceeded to draw everything that connected to it. Although picking up that 8 so pair, gonna swap up the pairs.
Boom.
We do also have a Sanshoku chance for dealer here. Get 7, 8, 9. Though, still 2 Shan 10 for that. Gonna have Giant Robo here. He's gonna open for a Tanyo Toy Toy, looks like. Actually skipping the 4, so definitely going for some value.
And your Dama for
Oh.
Sentry.
Here we go, Tanyo Toy Toy. Yeah, Sentry just happy to take the Dama Pinfu here. I feel like I would probably actually Ricci this if I was Sentry. I think you can still Ricci like a very strong 1-4 pin Ryanmin. And it just gives you a lot of buffer to fold out the rest of the game if you can win a Ricci here. I'm not sure you need to like just Dama everything. But yeah, I mean they have a big lead, so
I think
fine.
they might just dominate everything. I actually would be surprised if Sentry throws a single stick this entire hand.
that definitely seems
this
to
entire
be
game.
how they want to play this, which is fine. I don't know. I feel like this Ricci is just so strong that
Chanta Sanshoku for dealer.
oh, here comes gonna the one pin. Well, it's not gonna come out yet because yeah, the Chanta, but now it's gonna come out. So, but this is still just like 2,000 points. It is gonna shut down some of the other hands though.
Mongon versus Dama Pingu. Though your weight was very big.
Yeah, I imagine Sentry is just like not even gonna risk losing control of their discard.
Jeez, look at this high buy for
Oh,
Sentry.
another decent hand.
Yeah, it's actually the strongest hand here. It looks like. What the heck? They even draw Ryanmin here, so yeah, looking pretty strong for Sentry. We
Okay,
could have like a
Elgato
turn
picking up
3
piece
Dama
there.
Pinfu. See if anyone could catch up to that.
Oh, それポン
Gato is going to open here on the east. Looking to try to just probably win a cheap hand here. East Nomi, but they got time to get some points back on their dealership still.
Yeah, I gotta try to just get something going. Try to hold on, try to grab their dealership and get the points that way.
Aku Onko for user. And Central's hand hasn't really
Okay.
changed at all here.
Elgato got some pretty good upgrades in those last 2 draws. That 4 is gonna come out. I imagine Elgato's gonna scoop it up. Yep.
On 4-7 so here. Okay, Dora's a nice pickup. I can break away from that 6-8 so. Those are gonna pass against Elgato. And the Sentry is just going to fold at this point. Oh, here's going to be Tenpai for Giant Robosloth on the Intotsu 8-mon 2-5 so. Alright, Riichi Dora as dealer.
Yeah, pretty wide weight. So I got that going for it, but not the most value.
It'd be pretty good on a Sumo here. All you need is like a Sumo or a 1 to get him on gun, so. We have some chances. These are gonna try to call their way to Tenpai here with a Mawashi. Going 1-pin, 1-pin. Trying to play it safe here. The Monzu looking quite dangerous, so trying to avoid having to discard those. Ooh, 5 so for Elgato. What are they gonna do
They
here?
can
Go
still
for the
swap up
6
their
so,
weight and
yeah.
maintain Tenpai. Yeah.
So 6 so Genbutsu. Now both players waiting on the 5 so. These are not quite finding Tenpai. Hagato feels a little bit bad about the 4 so until they realize that like 5 so would have dealt in, but we'll see what they do with this 4 so. Fuji to the 1 so, you can see they're gonna fold actually. Don't want to push the 4 so.
Yeah, that seems very reasonable. Like you can't take a negative. Like you don't want to be in 4th place, and the 4 bamboo was just a little too risky.
It was one
Longer.
chance. I might have tried it.
It's such a hard spot because if that's the point where you fumble and get into the 4th place, it just turns the rest of the hand or the rest of the game into just such a slog.
It's close.
Yeah, the risk just paying the what? It was only 1,000 points that they had to pay up. That was worth the risk, I guess.
Either way, Giant Robo does get another dealership here. Sentry is going to open this one. Gonna play a little bit faster here, calling the Yakuhai. But Giant Robo's got quite a nice hand here. Could try to get some points back.
Ooh, okay.
These are also having a chance to open. They didn't call... I didn't see if they already had the Hatsu pair. Oh wow, already Tenpai drawing into the Champon 9 so Hatsu weight here. 2 tile weight. This is not going to be easy for Century. Let's see, they do cheat that 9 so away. So they're going to fight here. Kind of surprised to see that chi. Maybe they're like don't feel, yeah, I don't know, maybe they just felt like they couldn't defend, so they're gonna call. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's such an interesting line because like, do you try to just call it and try to get into Tenpai? Oh, that's not gonna matter.
Oh.
Udzor finds.
Now we have
the
Ura
out.
3 here? Or 2, okay. That's the same thing. Alright. So you are getting some points here. Just put them in first place. See what Elgato can manage to do on their dealership. Ipin's a nice draw. Hand's kind of stuck in a bit of an awkward middle ground between Tanyo and the Dora 1-mon. See what they want to do. Century's got another pretty nice hand here. It's already Ishan, already 2 Shanten.
Ooh, Eiso is interesting.
Now I think you might go Tanyo, but no, Elgato's just gonna go 4. So I guess this is Ishanten. If you cut the 1-2 on you to go back a Shanten. So yeah, fair enough. Take the Ishanten.
And it is essentially the same value since one month's a door.
Now I think you go Tanyo, but no, doesn't want to. I think the Tanyo chance of Sanoko there was looked like a pretty good play to me. He also had the Ipeko on 6-mon. I think it's just overall more valuable. Okay, well, there's a Dora to say, you know, and it works out.
And Elgato's like hand in situation is just so interesting, just because you gotta put some amount of like foot on the gas to try to make up this point loss. But is this the opportunity to do it? Do you go full ham on it?
Yeah, I think you definitely go full ham. Like, there's no way you fold to Ricci here. Like, this is yeah, here you go. I mean, slam it here. So ends up on the Champon, 1-mon 8-so, Ricci Dora 2. There's still a 1-mon left. The wall. As well as one. Actually, 8-so is actually twice held here. So just the single 1-mon.
Ooh.
These are actually calling.
It's calling their. I don't know how they're gonna form out their hand to not. I mean, they'd have to utilize this one character to have a chance of not dealing in, but I don't know if they're setting themselves up to do it.
It's a very confusing
got it
call
now.
unless I guess they just wanted to try to break Ipatsu, because
That's the only thing I can think of.
yeah, anything else doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Although I'm not sure why users super concerned about breaking Elgato's Ipatsu.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Uzer are
Why
just
they
putting
just try
themselves
to
in a very
keep-
precarious situation.
Oh, 1-mon sumo! Okay.
There's
God.
nothing there.
Can Elgato find an Ura as well? No, okay, but they'll take the Mongon.
mangan,
And so it begins.
Yeah, this is what they did last time. They need a lot more of that. You know, one Mongon not enough. Okay, Chitoy maybe? Chitoy, Toy, Suanko. See what they want to do here.
This is still just a hard situation because no matter what, you either need to have like the biggest like first place over everyone, or you need to get a direct hit off of Sentry. And it's so hard to get a direct hit off a person who is actively avoiding getting hit.
Yeah, it's hard to really force a direct hit. So I think it's better just to try to just win a bunch. Don't worry about who you're winning off of, just win a bunch.
That is definitely the route that puts it more in your hands. Oh man, 7
It's looking like a Chitoy.
Mm-hmm. These are kind of awkward tiles for Chitoy, but guess you gotta take what you got.
Yeah, it's always hard to like go for Chitoy when a lot of the pairs are next to each other, because you kind of still want to option select for a regular hand. But if you do that, you're making your Chitoy weights weaker.
Yeah, I think with this particular hand, it's pretty much just Chitoy. Maybe you keep an Anko, and then if you draw 2 Ankos, you go Toy, Suanko. But I think it like, the only possible hand I could see other than Chitoy is like a Toy from here. You can pretty much just force the pair's direction. And I think that's what we're seeing Elgato do as well here. We have seen a call from Toyman here who's trying to go for a Junchan Chanta Sanshoku, which could be fun. Okay, draws the 3, so it's actually gonna be Tenpai. Oh, sorry. They're gonna need 3-mon, not 3-so. Excuse me.
Yeah, they needed the 3.
Got a little excited there. I saw 3. It was the wrong one. Okay, Dora. That is huge. That's the shortcut. The shortcut is online here. Dora picked up for user as well. It's gonna, I imagine. Well, we'll see. Okay, they cut 9, so that's an odd choice. Don't quite see why they wouldn't just cut west first.
And then red.
Maximum greed.
Yeah, but I don't know why you wouldn't want to just like be Tenpai on 1-mon draw, for example. You could even be Tenpai on Dora draw if you had kept 9-so. And then you don't get Junchan, but you get like Sanshoku Dora.
Yeah, no, for Toyman it doesn't really. Well,
They do end up getting their Junchan Dora. Junchan Sanshoku Dora, so actually Mongon. Well, effectively. Robo Sloth also getting close here. Although it does have a loose 3-mon, which definitely could come out here. Ishan 10. Cutting away from that 5-mon is definitely in danger here. Oh, that's dealing in. There's no way you don't here. This is just always reachy. Yep. And there it is. So you're gonna get the Junshan Sanshoku Dora.
4色同順純にゃんドラ猫
There you go. Very nice setup from user. All right, still not a bad spot for Elgato. Like they're in second place, but only by oh so much. And Sentry not doing a whole lot to try to preserve fourth, like try to get out from fourth place. They
Really?
haven't been getting hit, but this is a scenario where Sentry could get hit, drop down to fourth, and that's exactly what Elgato needs.
Yeah, Sentry is probably going to be, I think, quite happy to have only lost 5,000 points to make it into East 4. I can already see that on their dealership, holding a north safe tile, just hedging a little bit of safety. Well, their hand is actually pretty good. Actually now drawing into that Ryomen.
Pom.
Robo gonna go ahead and call the Chun. Currently find themselves in fourth place. Try to get some points back here. The Chun Dora hand.
Pet Sanso, Elgato is gonna keep it close to the chest. They do have the East pair, but they need more than just East triple in order to get anything out from this hand.
Yeah, they skipped the first one.
Cheap wins don't help a whole lot in this spot. Kind of not the easiest hand for Elgato to play. Gonna end up cutting away from 1-2 so here. If you're gonna go for value, it seems like Onitsu might be the way to do that. Which, yeah, if they draw a Monzu here, we could either combo or just keep the 4-9 Mon. And yeah, I'm thinking this hand might turn into maybe like a Menholm. Or you could call East and go like East 22, which could at least be some decent points. You probably get enough Fu for 52.
Robosoft drawing another Dora.
Yeah, all of a sudden that open Chun hand is... It picked up a couple Dora and I was looking like an open Mongon.
Okay, looks like Sentry's gonna start dropping those north pairs, picking up the triple of the one pin.
Chi
Okay, Elgato gonna make the move for the Honitsu. Could definitely see a con of Naimon at some point. The extra food would be really nice.
おそれポン
There's the East. We might see a con
calls.
next turn from Elgato. Let's see how they want to play it. You could Chi and wait 9-1, which is actually not Senpai. This is, oh my gosh, this is so funny. This is the
Oh,
widest
man.
possible Ishan 10 for those who haven't seen it. Literally any draw in your Senpai. It's the widest Ishan 10 in the game. Very rare to see this. Giant Robo finds stuff. Yeah, so this, now you just con, and whatever you draw your Senpai on.
No, I think they're gonna.
There we go,
Ooh.
con.
Okay, on now. What?
リンシャン
That's incredible!
I guess
Holy
after the
shit,
con.
that's pretty funny.
What
I
is
wondered
that?
They were gonna wait until they picked up like a character tile.
That
to
was gonna be the
potentially
plan,
find
but
out.
they just accidentally reached on. I mean, you take your 4,000 points there, I think. Like, that is really funny.
Great win for the Sanzo.
おそれポン
I'm so torn on that hand. I'm not. That's not how I expected it to go.
I don't think it's how anyone would have expected that hand to go. Oh, sorry, I forgot to even switch dealer here.
チ
Oh man. Well, Elgato could go ahead and try again
Tried
at the
momentum.
this one's looking like trying to force a Chinny too. I don't mind it at all. Although Sentries also has a ton of Sozu here. That's looking like the better Chinitsu out of the two. Although Sentry doesn't even necessarily need to go Chinitsu. Yeah, now just completes the Monzu. Already Kutsuki Ishanten over there. Although cutting
Also
two
took
3-pin.
the Dora, so I
kind
think
of-
that's gonna stay in their hand the entire time.
Yeah. Sentry kind of wishing that they had just kept the 2-3-pin at that point. Oh wow, they're forcing Chinitsu.
They're going, yeah.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. They do have a lot of Sozu and it's early. Oh, this is like kind of the opposite of what they were doing earlier, where they were dominating a Pinfu. So it's like they wanted speed there, but now they want to go for value. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of
Sentry's
Sozu,
plan
we'll
is
see what
to-
happens.
I think Sentry's plan is to not actually complete this Honitsu or this Chinitsu, but just to hoard all of the bamboo tiles away from Elgato. And if
Maybe.
it works out, you get your winning hand before they do. That's just icing.
I think some amount of them does want to win this Jujutsu, but we'll see. Oh my goch, they keep drawing Sozu, what the heck? Okay, well, user's gonna draw into Tenpai on 6 so for this Tanya Dora. We're gonna see a con? Oh yeah, we are.
Oh,
Trying to
going
match
down.
the Rinshan, but we can't quite get. Okay, but it's Dora.
セモ
Oh, well, 6-1 Sumo. Actually, I didn't even see when Roboslav got into Tenpai there. That's gonna be actually
スモ
it's Sumo Chitoi Dora Dora.
ドラ2
Surprised they didn't. I guess they wanted to find a better weight than 6-1. That's why they didn't reach it, which is fair. I got distracted by all the other hands. I missed the Giant Robo sneaking their way into Chitoi Tenpai. Looks like they just hit it the previous turn.
Yeah, everyone had bangers on that hand.
That was a crazy one. Oh my god. Wait. Okay, Giant Robo.
Oh.
Hold on here.
Wow.
Okay, hold.
At least Dealer Mangan looking pretty easy here. We can get like Chun Honitsu Dora. Here's a chance to call the Chun. They're actually considering skipping, but no, they're gonna just call it here. It's so much faster.
Oh yeah.
Already Ishanten. This is a nice one. Sentry gonna try to match the speed. But oh man, already temp. Oh, yep, already Tenpai.
Wow.
Tonki 9 so. And here it comes! Elgato deals in!
No.
Just like that. Easy 11-6.
チュン本一ドラ
This team is being bullied so hard. Oh my god.
That's so unfortunate. Before all this craziness, I was going to point out the conditions are kind of met. Elgato was in first, Sentry was in fourth. They just needed to make that difference a little bit more extreme, but now it's going to be way harder.
That is exactly what Ritsu-san needed, though. To now up to first place, and like you said, Sentry is still in fourth. And so, if Giant Robo can try to get a few more points on their dealership, maybe you can get Ritsu-san back in it. See what they can do. I think definitely try to get all the points you can. The bigger the first, the better.
Yeah, as much as I love seeing the biggest underdog story for Chumar Sistabat to make it, Ritsu-san still also like has an actual like chance at making first place here, especially if this hand or if this table continues to form out in the way that it is. Like a pretty decent negative for Sentry, and if Giant Robo Sloth can just continue this dealership and get as many points as they can, they could potentially overtake Kami on this hand or in this game if it's
They've
big
already
enough.
found their way into Ishanten here. Found their way into Tenpai. We'll see if they want to take this 8-so if they're going to try for a Tanyo. For a bit more value. They're just going to go ahead and Richi. Just Richi Nomi. That's going to get chased by Elgato. Waiting on 2-5-so. Or 2-5-pin, excuse me. With Richi Pinfu Dora. Chance at Ipeko. It's seems to be the stronger weight here with this 8-so only having 1 left. 2 5-pin. Still has some tiles in the wall here. Looks like 3 tiles to Tsumo there.
Yeah, basically feels like a bunch of forced plays. You just gotta get your points and you gotta slam these Richis. Don't have time to wait around for something better. Just work with what you got.
Sentry just happy to hold out. It seems like user's defending for now, although if user ends up finding their way close to a... Yeah, like here we're drawing a 6-mon. Might end up wanting to try to fight here. Whereas user's team also needs some points. See if they can try to Mawashi this hand. You have like one Sosuji. I'm gonna go for 9-pin, which is also Genbutsu. Okay, not quite able to get to the jump out. Oh, Eitsu comes out from Elgato! So the dealership continues and hits Ura on the Eitsu. So some more points for Giant Robo.
So sad for Gato. Would have been a Hanemon.
Yeah, that Eitsu Ura is exactly what the Okatsu would have needed there.
Another opportunity lost. The games is still gonna stay where it is on South 2, so still more opportunities, but now you gotta get an even bigger win. And Giant Robot, you're feeling pretty good. You're still not, your first place is not that drastic. You still need to try to get more out of this dealership, but if you're in first place and Sentry is in fourth, that's the exact scenario you need.
Gato could maybe get some points back from Menhon Chito a chance. Sentry with a couple Yakuhai to possibly call. The Chun and the Non being held in Elgato's hand. Yeah, Sentry is going to go ahead and open. That's a very quick hand here. Might end up shutting down the South too.
Yeah, I think as Sentry, you just got to stop the bleeding. You can take a fourth place here, but not a big one. So just try to get this game moving along.
Also going to open up here for that Honitsu.
Perfect tile for them.
They're going to end up having to feed these, eventually going to have to cut the South and Chun here, which might just end up dealing in. If you cut both the South and the Chun, you do end up eventually dealing into Sentry. So Ogata's going to have to find a way to maneuver around that. 6-0 draw is incredibly massive for user here. Filling in that Kanchan with the Dora. Still has a bunch of loose honors. Giant Robo also Ishan 10 at the moment. With Kanchan Penchon. Okay, here's the Chun, so that's going to get called for Tempai. Imagine you take Champon, and they do. So now that South would deal in if Elgato also ends up cutting that.
I think the route Elgato has to just hope for, that they pick up the final South.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's really tough to advance that hand without cutting the South. Yeah, let's see what happens. There goes the South. That does end up dealing into Sentry here. It's going to take the Chun South Yakuhai.
Yeah, unfortunately, Elgato just, within the span of just like a few hands, went from first, slipped all the way down into fourth.
Definitely some hands that didn't go their way here. Now it's really their last chance on this dealership here. Just taking a few seconds to plan out how they want to play this hand. Which is figuring out, like, do I want to just go for speed, try to go for some sort of value? Okay, Haku Chun. Not going to get the Yakumon, the Hatsu being held by Giant Robo. But maybe you end up with a Honitsu, or you could just go Yakuhai Dora and keep your dealership. Giant Robo, who does have that
Mhm.
Hatsu Yakuhai.
Ooh,
Uh,
4 characters. Interesting draw for Giant Robo.
Yeah, another Onko. We'll see if the Tumon comes out here. Gonna go with the 6-0. I think I like cutting that Tumon just because it's kind of walled off by your own Onko of 4mon, so I think I prefer the trying to draw around the 6-0 rather than the Tumon.
Reasonable.
Sentry's hand, it's got Dora 3 here. Closest to Chitoi, but could also draw into like Ipeko, or if you end up getting some like Onkos, could definitely be a normal hand as well still.
あ、それポン。
And that's the pawn gonna come out.
At this point, just going for speed here above all else for Elgato. I mean, you can also just get pretty decent value if you end up getting the Chun as well. Go like Chun Hakudora. And of course, Elgato hasn't seen any of the Hatsu, so maybe Toy Toy.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe they can also get a Toy Toy out of this.
One
It's
so
kinda
from
far away.
Sentry.
But
So Sentry not concerned with. I guess once those twice out. She doesn't take Ishan 10 though.
it looks
guess-
like Elgato is gonna give up the Toy Toy.
Yeah, ends up just completing the sequence. I mean, again, you can still get good value with the Chun.
Oh my god, Sentry's hand is disgusting if they can somehow finish it.
It's a 5-pin. They are back into Ishan 10. Now Tanyo for Sentry, so actually even could open this hand at this point if they want. They get the chance. Ooh, Con, absolutely Con. Always Con.
Yep.
Easiest
Gotta try to
con
get
ever.
something.
Okay, an extra door, so
Alright.
Elgato's got some value. Still needs to find their way to Tenpai. We do also have Suanko Ishanten for Giant Robo, so that's starting to get somewhere. I don't know if there's enough time for that. 8-pin, 3-pin, 6-mon. That's actually look like... Oh, 3-pin's dead. 8-pin. It's like 1 left. 6-mon. Has 1 left. So that's like the smallest of chances.
Elgato just completely stalled out on this hand.
Yeah, still hasn't been able to find Tenpai.
Yeah, that's like the entire second half of this hand, they've just been Sumogiri drawing and discarding.
This is a con.
Oh, here's Tenpai
Here's
for
Tenpai.
Sentry.
あ、それポン。
There's Tenpai
There's the
for
pawn, get the
Elgato
Tenpai
as well.
back.
Shu 9-mon. Six pin for Sentry. Let's see what they do here. They wanna... Okay, they're gonna go for the 5-pin, change up their weight for 7-pin here.
テンパイ。
Just go to exhaustive.
Yeah, Uzu are being very heads up, holding on to that Red Dragon basically the entire game. Well, Elgato's not going to get as much as they wanted out of that hand, but they are going to maintain their dealership, which is definitely an important thing to have here.
Get another chance. Again, Giant Robo starting with a Yakuhai Onko. This time of Chun. Or is East. You can see one of those in Giant Robo's and one of those in Sentry's hand.
You know, Elgato took a minute on that hand or on that discard on the 9p, deciding if they wanted to just go for more acceptance or try to hard force a few more Yaku into their hand.
This is a nice early Ishan 10 already for Elgato. Sentry picking up an Aka 5, so the hand's also coming together here. Tushan
ち
over there. And Robo gonna open up that Chun. User calling into Tenpai already. 1 Formon. Hatsu only. Happy to take a small win here.
C
Giant thinking about that call, decides to do it.
Yeah, trying to decide what they want to do with this Dora. They want to end up trying to Tonki in the Dora for value and cut a Ryomen, and that is what they're going to do. Okay, here's going to be a Richi for Elgato. Just deciding which way to do it. Does it with the 1 So. 6-9 So. Senpai. Richi Nomi. We'll see what happens with this Formon and Giant Robosand, who is about to deal in, but this Richi might save them. See if they want to push it all. No, they're just going to fold out with the Chun. Well, user is going to Tsumo, so that'll end Elgato's dealership. Didn't quite get the points they were hoping for.
Yeah, with that, it looks in Chu marks the spot's opportunity to try to have any sort of chance of making first place and winning this league is starting to be less and less and less, almost zero. Not impossible, but oh, so many things need to go right now.
Yeah, at the moment, nobody really got the game they were hoping for. Even like these first places are going to be pretty small. We'll see what happens in this final hand. I mean,
If Giant Robot Sloth can manage to sumo a really big hand, that could be the scenario that they need. Because they need Sentry to go 4th place.
yeah, so they just needed Sumo Abaimon. It's very easy. I'm not really sure how you get a Abaimon. There's probably Chitoi if you I guess maybe like you, yeah, that's all I could see is or some crazy amount of like Ipatsu or 3 or something.
Well, they're progressing pretty quickly.
User right now just 1,400 points away from first. They were happy to take a small win in South 3. They might try to go for another small win and just aim for a small first place and see what can happen in the final game. EV Snacks Groups is the team, and yeah, here they go. They're calling into Autozuke Tenpai. They really need first place, so they need to sumo Hatsu or direct hit Hatsu. Like I think they're supposed to skip or pawn. If Elgato cuts Hatsu, I think they need to pawn. Because if they roll on Hatsu, they're just confirming second, which I really don't think is good enough for them.
And I doubt it will come from Elgato.
Yeah, I mean, going Kokoshi here, so it need to be like a... Seems like they're going Kokoshi. We'll see what the plan is, but yeah, definitely. Looks like it. Just fair, that's kind of what their team needs. If it comes out from Sentry, you also kind of have to just like pawn. This is pretty tough actually for user. I don't know if they needed to call it the Tenpai, considering that like it's not even enough points on just a rolling off Elgato or Sentry. I don't really like the call. It's like when you're hoping for...
Maybe they'll draw the Ada characters, con it, and that's their route.
True, if they get enough foo, if they can get up to 1,600, then at that point they could win off anybody and they would have the tiebreaker. So yeah, 1,600 points would do it. They can get the con of... Let's see if they like open con north. That'd be sad for Elgato, but I think that would be enough foo at that point. Yeah, that would be enough foo. They can get con of the north. Oh, north is...
North is the last one's out. So...
Oh yeah, it was cut immediately from Giant Robo.
Huh.
Ooh, Elgato got a pair of the 1 character Dora, and they decided to give up Kokushi, dropping the south, then immediately drew the next one of the next tiles they needed for it. So, don't know what Elgato can do in this situation.
Another way that user gets first is just if it goes to exhaustive and Giant Robo isn't able to find Tenpai. Giant Robo currently Ishanten trying to find their way to Tenpai, but if they're unable to get there, that would be another way for user to find their way into first.
Okay, 5P.
Oh,
picked
there
up
is
from
the
Giant
Tempai
Robo's
for Giant
line.
Robo. That is
got the
actually
guess
pretty
right.
important, just to be Tempai
yeah.
here. We'll see if they decide to Ricci. I feel like you might as well, but we'll see how they want to play it.
Oh, but they
Oh,
got the guess
actually,
right.
you know, Ricci is still first. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, they're kind of up for Dama instead. Kind of don't mind the Ricci. I feel like their team's in a bad enough spot that just taking some gamble to try to win some points here seems pretty good. It is very late though. You're almost just throwing your stick away. Thinking about a pawn from Elgato. Out here. A little too far from Tempai. Final draw, and looks like that'll do it. So Giant Robo is going to take the first place.
Yeah,
and
ever so barely.
Sentry third. I feel like this isn't really what any of the teams other than Sentry's going to be very pleased with this, but I feel like the other three teams, they made up some ground. We'll see if it's enough.
It's not as drastic as it needed to be.
Yeah, this is like plus 50 for Giant Robo, but that, I mean, that still leaves him like 125 points out of first, so yeah, Giant Robo in chat saying I needed a bigger win. You were out there trying. I definitely respect it. You had some nice wins for sure. But
Yep, sometimes that's just how the tiles fall in place.
Sentry got the first that, or they got the third that they were hoping for. We can switch over to the spreadsheet here. It's been updated. So, yep. After Sentry's nice sort of defensive performance there, going to pass things on to their captain here with a very comfortable, almost 80-point lead over second, which is definitely a great spot to be. Feeling pretty comfortable. And then, so UB Snacks Group about 80 points. Ritu-san, 126, and Chinmark's spot is effectively out of it at this point.
Yeah, at this point, Chumar's spot is in the Kingmaker position. They still have influence over how the game and how everything's going to play out, though almost 0.001% chance that it goes in their favor.
Yeah.
So now it's a matter of, can Ubi Snack Groups and Ritsu-san get good hits off of Kami no Keisai, or at least like get big enough wins?
There's a chance that Chun could maybe like get out of last if they want to try to do that. They're like 100 points out from Ritu-san. So it's like possible that they could try to, if they want to aim for third, they could do that. We'll see what how Shimmer decides to play this final Hanshan. Yeah. Oh, hopefully, you know, as long as we don't see too many like just small wins to confirm their fourth place, I'm fine if anything. Like even if they just try to go for third, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a very interesting last table as we go into the final game of the W League Season 4. We might see some very desperate Hail Mary plays going around just to try to get any sort of like position change.
Yeah, so yeah, with the UMA, it's 25 for first, and then it's minus 20 for fourth. So it's 45 points of UMA. So basically, for UB Snack Groups, they need to be 30. Yeah, so they need to have Kami no Keisai fourth. They need to be first, and they need to have like a 34,000 point lead, which is doable, but very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to rely on the difficult part, I think, is having UB Snack Groups or having Kami no Keisai end up fourth.
Yeah, that's always the hardest part. And it's not necessarily they need 34 like 34,000 above their starting. They just need 34,000 above Kamino Keisai.
It could also work if they get like 44,000 points above, but Kamino size third. Essentially, you just need a gigantic first, and then, like, it's pretty simple to play. Like, you only have to figure out exactly what you need, like, in the later South rounds. Like, for the whole first half of the game, it's like, all right, just let me collect as many points as I possibly can, and then I'll figure out exactly how many I need at the end of the game.
Yep, I mean, that's how you gotta win games. You gotta win games.
Yeah, it's easy. Just win all the hands. Go on massive dealer runs, get like an 80,000 point total, and then figure out how to win from there.
I mean, sometimes that's always the hardest. Like, that's the first step, is understanding your win condition and then sticking to it.
Yeah. So here we are with definitely have a strong lineup of players here for this final match. Everyone was sort of saving their strong players here. We have 3 pool 0 players and then a pool 1 with Red Zone, Eric, Shimmer, and E. Very strong lineup here. Looks like we don't have to wait too long. The players have already started here. So, got just about 5 minutes till our final game here. I think we'll step away for just a quick break here, but we'll be back in about 4 minutes for the final game of W League to see how it all ends. So see you then. Alright, here we go for the final game. One more Hanshan to go. Be Shimmer on the first deal. Already looking at this first hand, trying to plan out how they want to try to make their comeback.
It seems like everyone is going to take a little bit extra time with their starting hands to determine, okay, do I go for Yakuman here?
Yeah, I think that does seem like either they were just away from the keyboard or they were thinking about whether or not Kokushi. It was one of those two. I feel like the more likely is they were just away from the keyboard, but you never know. We'll see who's able to try to pull out in the lead here. Shimmer on their dealership has a pretty average hand. They do at least have a Dora. They've got some shapes. A lot of like loose honors they still got to get through. Eric's hand looking not too bad. Just have door 2. E starting with the Chun pair, so just have a chance to try to open if they want.
Although everyone does seem like they have a pretty slow hand to start here. 3 characters, fantastic pickup for Eric.
5-pin really nice for red zone as well. Ooh, we'll see how much they want to try to open their hands. It'll kind of... It's normally like I think a hand that you would want to try to open for Tanyao, but they really don't need to. Yeah, so we can already see 5 so, whereas I think normally you would discard the east there, just you know, keeping the safe tile here, trying to play a bit more defensive with a pretty massive lead.
Yeah, red zone is going to be full defense this entire table.
His hand hasn't really improved at all.
Yeah, I had to spend that entire first row just getting rid of random wins. It's not where you want to be.
Red zone has managed to get to Ishan 10 here. Eric also Ishan 10. Ooh, Aka 5 pins. Okay, not gonna try to force that into the hand.
Use it though.
Yeah, you would need to cut like a 1 pin and you narrow your Ishan 10. And the 1 pin being Dora doesn't make too much sense. So yeah, just sticking with the Ishan 10. Here we go. Finds a Tenpai. And yeah, of course, just gonna immediately reach E here. 5-8 pin. Red Zone gonna use up their safe tile. Now the Chun comes for E, so yeah, they're gonna chase here. 2-5 pin. Couple of early reachies. And Red Zone gonna try to figure out how they can fold this hand here. Not that easy, actually. There's not a lot of information from E. Could be in trouble here, even. We'll see what they go for. Maybe it... Yeah, this is really tough. They don't actually have anything that's Genbutsu. Yeah, 5-pin. I don't blame it. Red Zone just didn't have anything safe there. Went for the 5-pin, which is at least safe from Eric. But it's gonna deal into Ipatsu here. So there you go. A blow on the first place team already.
Yeah, all things considered, not that bad of a deal in. Like, you... Yeah, I mean... You could have discarded Dora against Eric because they had gotten it, but if you Ipatsu it against E, it's just way worse. So I understand not wanting to get rid of that.
If you're gonna deal into something against E, rather it be the 5-pin than the Dora.
Yeah, basically. They had nothing but bad options and tried to choose the least bad out of all of them.
Yeah, and as Kodo points out, it is also true that if you're gonna deal into someone, you'd rather it be E, so... You know, if you're gonna have to cut something dangerous to one of the players, you want it to be the player who's in third rather than the player who's in second. Prioritizing the Genbutsu to Eric. That tough spot. Shimmer picking up another door here.
Ooh,
It's looking like a
very
pretty shiny hand here, no? Red zone's also called, and
Yeah.
actually has a pretty nice hand here. The Toy Toy is one of those hands that if you don't win, kind of end up dealing in on. And, Eric actually gonna be the first to Tenpai, who draws that 7-mon into the Ipeko Tenpai. Reaching on the 3, so wait, this is a turn 4 Riichi from Oya. Ichi Ipeko Dora. Is Eric gonna be able to
Not quite.
get a powerful dealer win here?
Yeah, 3-so. Sanso. Kind of a hard one to wait on because a lot of people are very superstitious about it. One's already out there. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
And
one
Red
coming-
Zone's gonna hold on to it for dear life.
Yeah, Red Zone
Yeah.
absolutely just bailing out here, as they should from this point. So, I think it's quite unlikely 3-so comes out. Even if 3-so became Suji. Oh, now here's another Riichi.
And Shimmer.
1 4-pin, and this looks like a pretty solid weight as well in the wall. One of the 4-pins thrown by E.
Yeah.
Gonna defend with
Senses
the
the danger,
5-pin.
or at least wants to follow Genbutsu, so it gets rid of the 5. 4
Red
is
Zone.
gonna be picked up from Red Zone.
Yeah, more winning tiles.
The
Trying to see
wall
if they
is not
can
quite
see
calibrated correctly.
anything
for
safer than the
player.
Hatsu. I'm not sure I do see anything safer. Nope. Yep, they just go with the Hatsu. The wall just giving Red Zone all these pairs here. Which is not really what you want when you're just trying to defend. You end up with a bunch of like Sudi pairs. Eventually you just have to
Yes.
risk something. The 3-so, I said the 3-so wouldn't come out, but now that you're
Right
trying to defend
now.
against 2 Riichis and you really don't have, oh well, the 4-pin comes out first.
Oh,
Shimmer gonna strike a blow on
great
Eric here.
Takame as well.
And an Ura, okay.
Okay.
So Hanimon hit from Shimmer. That is gonna make things really tough for Eric here, who was so close to getting a good start, had 2 Riichis in the first 2 hands, and the result is 4th place.
Yeah, it feels super bad for Ericanator, especially because you're dealing into the last place player. I was like, you're not even going to be able to use much with this.
Yeah. So, yeah, Red Zone, obviously gonna be very happy with that. Onto the dealership. They don't need to try to do too much here. We'll see how they want to play this hand. E, who is currently the closest player, I think, to having a chance to overtake first place, does have a starting hand of 2 Dora.
Yeah, it depends on if they can use this north pair, or if they're going to
Yeah.
take some time to discard it.
The shapes aren't great. That's for sure.
Yeah, depending on their next few draws, they may just go for Open Tanyo.
Definitely
Seems
could
to be
be.
the case. Yeah.
Right now, North's your. I guess you have 6-mon as your pair as well, but you'd really like to use that as a Ryamen. So yeah, this might just have to be a Riichi here. Like cut the 6-8. So I guess you could go Tanyo if you. No, because you also have like Sancho. I guess you can go 6-mon here. They're gonna go for the Tanyo. You're right.
Yeah, I think I agree with that route.
I think just because that weight is
Mhm.
3, 4. and they
I don't
didn't
know.
confirm.
I'm kind of partial to just cutting a 6-mon and going 6 blocks. You keep the Sanshoku open, and then you have just the Ryamen, Sanmen-chan for like a Riichi, Pinfu, Dora.
I didn't even catch Sanchoku in E's hand. You're right. I still don't hate this route that they're taking with it.
Yeah.
Because they may not try to go.
Okay, it looks like it works out. They might be able to use those 6 of bamboos as their pair. They have a lot of options for how they can form this hand, and they did get into Tanyao, so E's set up looking a lot better. Still, not going as quickly as they can, though. No one's really called anything, except for right there. Arcanator are going to pick up that 3-pin. Not quite putting themselves in a tempai quite yet, but they're going to try to just get a Tanyao with as many Dora as they can hoard.
They're really going to try to force that Orso into the hand if they can.
Yeah, if they could pick up 4 Mon right now and just like potentially Tonki Dora, that is like the route to the most value, but it's such a hard balance between how degenerate do you go to get these points versus what's realistic for this hand.
Well, you
Well, it
found
works
the,
out for E because he draws the last 7, so
found their way into the Ryomen Summon Shani Shanten here.
2 4 characters out there in the wild for Eric to pick up. Okay. 666 Mon.
This is a really wide Ishanten now. Shimmer gonna find Tempai, but not gonna go for a Richi. Dama Pinfu. Huh. I'm not
The way one
Kind
from
of.
classic? No.
kind of odd. I feel like you're the last place team, you just take every Richi. But maybe figuring that the hand's cheap even with a Richi. Like this is yeah, okay, now they have a Dora, now you Richi, right? Now you picked up an extra
It's
Dora?
like, how do you get more value?
No, they're still gonna Dama.
Maybe they think that with their weight, like a 4/7 is kind of hard.
Yeah, this is how you would play if this was just like a ladder game and you were like, oh, I'm 43,000 point first, I'll just Dama. But when you're trying to overcome a, what is this, 228 point deficit, I feel like you just, every time the button shows up, you just push it.
So maybe the theory is, and this is a pure guess, is the only way you can make these like point totals actually matter is if you also get direct hits off of red zone. And as soon
Yeah.
as you slam the Richi, everyone's just gonna like, have heads up on it. So maybe even if you lose some value, in order to get direct hits, you have to Dama.
Yeah. Even the 2,000 point direct hit though just doesn't seem that impactful. Either way, it didn't look like the hand was going to win.
Like, you could potentially get more value by just hitting the under Dora and getting that Richi in there.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I just want to take every little gamble. It's like, wow, if I'm just extremely lucky, I can just like Richi, Ipatsu, Sumo, Ura, and just turn this into Amongon, which on Red Zone's dealership is 12,000 points towards my like 100 or 200 point gap I'm trying to make up. It could be that Shimmer just thinks this is like not doable and isn't going to go all out for it. It's just going to be like playing for maybe 3rd place or something. We'll see. We'll see how they play the rest of the hand. It might just be that they thought that hand didn't really have a chance of winning after Richi. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Ooh. E. I was gonna mention that E has a potential Sanshoku chance, and yeah, they're gonna try to force Sanshoku with
This is the they're keeping their options open. Is the 4-mon. It's like I'm either Sanshoku or Itsu. I'm not no Richi no me, or even a Menholm. Like they're just value plays here. Sanshoku the most obvious here, of course, but like if you draw like a 7-so, I think you end up shifting towards the Itsu, which might also turn into Menholm.
Okay, Shimmer picking up 7 pin, gonna complete that 9-7.
Eric drawing the Akka into
Richi slam.
Yeah, Eric's not double door Akka 5-pin and just immediately pushes the button there. The red zone with the classic Ipatsu draw. E finding Ishanten, who is definitely gonna fight a little bit here. There's the 9-so right after cutting the 8-so.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate spot to be in, but like at this table and this juncture, you kind of just have, if someone reaches, you kind of just have to ignore it.
I think so if you're E, because it's your dealership and you actually have a hand that can fight your Ishanten for a Sanshoku, even if it's Kanchan. I think you might have to fight. There's a door draw. Oh, not gonna Gonna try to at least Mawashi here. Take a step backwards. Which, this can also win. Like, you're not just giving up here. This is a, you know, calculated play here. Because you can try to draw another block around the 5-so. Deciding that pushing 5-so 5-pin was just too much.
Okay, Shimmer gonna, yeah, looks like Shimmer's kind of gonna fold this one out too. Like,
see.
couldn't really form anything with it.
Oh, Haku Haku. There was another Ishanten that he could have taken. But still trying to find the safer Mawashi path.
It looks like there's only one set of characters out there for Eric to pick up.
Shimmer not that close to Tenpai here. Gonna go with the 3-pin Suji. Oh, and there is the 7 monster. Finds the Tsumo. It's an inconsequential Urodor here. Picks up the extra 100-point Uro. Alright.
And that's gonna help them climb back out of the 4th place that they found themselves in.
Yeah, that was, I think, a Red Zone. Although Red Zone isn't 4th, I think Red Zone will be pretty happy with how that East round went. Just 4 more hands now, or 4 more rounds, I suppose.
Yeah, Shimmer being in 1st place is a very good scenario for Red Zone.
Right, for sure.
Although Shimmer's looking to cook up something pretty good with their hand on this dealership.
Yeah, this is your last real chance if you are still dreaming of a comeback. It has to be on this dealership. Just need to really run this up on a dealer streak.
Although E's hand's also looking very, very nice. Yeah, it looks to be... Oh, it's not quite Ishanten, but at least Tanyao. Ooh, okay, there's the 8 pair. They could lock that in. Yeah, I'm going to drop the 4 and 6 character block.
There is a chance at a Sanchoku for E, which could definitely give that hand quite a bit of nice value if they can get like a Sanchoku Tanyo Dora.
Or it could go for Chitoy here.
Yeah, definitely. After drawing another pair, seems like that's going to be the play. Nice draw for Shimmer.
Ooh, very good draw.
Gets into perfect Ishanten. You're going to stick with the Chitoy.
Oh, E.
Eve, a small disconnect, but looks like they're back.
Yeah, it looks like Ergonator is gonna like hard commit to the 7 pairs.
Only Ishanten for that. Chitoy is the shortcut to Hanemon. Doesn't currently have any Dora, but you can always hope for the Ura 2. Make your own Dora. 6-mon for Red Zone. Now has a Ryamen Ishanten of their own. E finds Ishanten. It is with the 9-so. Shimmer finds a nice upgrade here. Who gets Tanyo and an extra double door. So that's a 3-Han upgrade. That is huge draw there for Shimmer.
Yeah, crazy. That's perfect.
Reach!
And their waves potentially going to be fantastic.
Shimmer can pretty safely fight here with 1-on-1, so this is the kind of dealer hand you need. Let's see what Eric does. Sort of the south. Red Zone may be thinking if they want to play this. Like, you have a safe tile east, but yeah, just gonna cut 6 mon, so just like full Beta Ori, like, save the east for later. Makes sense.
Yeah, don't do anything that you will regret later.
Okay, so
Sumo.
finds the Sumo here.
Oh, and they found Dora on it too. Let's go.
Mhm.
Rage.
No
Sumo.
wonder.
Dora. Dora.
Fake Mongon.
But you get some points here. Alright, now it's Eric's last dealership. They have a pretty nice one here with the Hakuton pair start. You really want to turn this into some value here. Like, yeah, I think if this ends in just like Yakuhai Nomi, you keep your dealership, you're a little sad. Like, okay, he's gonna go west.
Oh,
West is
this
twice
sounds like
out.
Red Zone.
What the heck? Okay, that was
Wait,
fast.
Red
Yeah,
Zone?
he had
That's nuts.
Turn to Ishantan.
It's almost worth a Ricci, I think. I think this could be worth a Ricci. Like, you can even afford a deal in. I think just a chance to skip Eric's dealership. I don't know. You have a large lead. It's really hard to
there's,
know
like,
the
no-
correct
like,
way.
there's
Oh,
no-
This
okay.
is an upgrade you can reach you on.
Yeah, now you have Dama Pinfu.
Yeah.
And Tanyo as well, so.
You can actually
Oh no,
win
you
that
don't have
deal.
Tanyo. Excuse me. You have Dama Pinfu.
Yeah, they would like Red Zone. It's like there's no reason to try to go ham on anything.
Yeah.
It's very little upside for potential. I mean, small chance, huge backfire.
I mean, the upside is you would get to just skip Eric's dealership, which, like, that's kind of one of the ways you can lose if Eric goes on that ridiculous dealer run. So I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to know. Like, when every option results in a massive chance of you winning, it's hard to decide which option has like the, you know, the 99 versus the 98% chance of winning.
Yeah, and ultimately, at the end of the day, pick whichever option that, especially in this spot, gives you the least chance of backfire. I think that's the most important thing than anything else in this spot.
And there's the 8-0, so
Recommend.
that's pretty much going to finish off Eric.
Yeah, it's a good deal in for Red Zone too.
Yeah, that's going to push him up into third. And third place, exactly what you want here.
Now you can
Alright,
pretty much
now-
just fold this, and that it's Red Zone agrees. 7th
Yeah.
in. We don't need any more points.
Yep, it's gonna be very hard for any of these players to try to make a huge comeback, and it's looking like Red Zone and their team looking pretty secure in this first place to win the 4th season of W League.
Yeah, I
Still not
think-
there yet, but a lot of crazy things need to happen. Some Hail
It's-
Marys need to be thrown, and E might be able to set up for such a Hail Mary.
Yeah, gonna force like a Honitsu here. I really want it to be a closed Honitsu. That's how you get the real value. Maybe like Menhon Chitoi. Shimmer is actually gonna open. Does Shimmer have a... Not sure. Maybe Shimmer has a chance at... I think Shimmer's just trying to end this game.
I think Shimmer's just get me out.
Yeah.
I don't think they even have a chance at third. This is always
Not
kind of
in
funny how you're supposed to play the end of these tournaments. Like, I don't know. I feel like I would not just open for 2,000 points if I was Shimmer. I don't really know what it accomplishes. Because it doesn't even give you a chance at third.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think they're just thinking about the macro decisions of their lives. Of like, okay, well,
Yeah.
maybe I can save 20 minutes. And get
It's
those back
weird.
if
Like, I don't know. I feel like when you get to the finals of a tournament, you should just let the other player, like, let E have a chance at a comeback, but I don't know. It's...
Yeah, it's an interesting spot of like, you know, Shimmer could be like the kingmaker situation where they
Yeah, which I feel like
So-
when you're in that spot, you should just try to step aside. But, no, I mean, we'll see.
reasonable. That's definitely a karma play. Like, step aside for someone else to potentially get.
Like, just try for like a Yakuman or something. That's what I would do. And then it's like, if you win a
That was the
Yakuman, nobody's
point.
gonna complain. Like, okay. Even if the Yakuman doesn't change anything, like you're still allowed to win Yakuman.
リーチ
Okay, well, Eric is gonna try for Ricci.
Yep, still
Who
in
could
this fight, waiting on 1-4.
Get some points
so-
back. Ricci
Doesn't
pin
get a pop through,
Fedora.
unfortunately.
つも
And there's the small little
shuts that
Tsumo
down.
from Shimmer. Alright, this is the final hand here. He the only one who can stop Kamino Keisai at this point. And not the high pie they really wanted to accomplish that with.
All right, everyone, this is your potentially your final chance to make a big difference on the W League on the season 4. What are you gonna do? I want to see. How do you play this final hand? Argonator picking up 2 Dora off of their first draw. Looks like they're gonna play towards that.
Eric can try to hold the second place. That point difference is 40. I think if they won like a Hanimon, they could keep. Let's see. I guess if they overtook Red Zone, they won a Hanimon. I think they could hold second place. Just glancing at the scores, which is something to fight for.
Yeah, they're down by 30 points total. So if they can actually
Gee.
So
this
right-
Argonator, I'm trying to do the math.
Right
and
now,
it's
the
failing.
difference is, let's see, it's plus 25 versus, so it's a 30. Right now it's 45. Right now it's a 75 point difference essentially, or 65 point difference. So right now, he's in second place. Shimmer is definitely just trying to end this game. I don't love this, to be honest. Like, at least if you're gonna end the game, at least end it with something more than Hakunomi.
Yeah, well, it's their prerogative. That's how they decided they want to handle this game.
Yeah.
Try to deny the other players from making big comebacks or getting any sort of point change or position change. Shimmer's going to be in Tenpai waiting on 3P.
Yeah, Sentry, Shimmer can end it for first, and their team will get fourth. So it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's not just about how you do in this table. Well, maybe Shimmer's just trying to lock in their personal score.
Yeah, I think that's nonsense, but yeah, it is what it is. Like, it's a
looks like
team event, it's not an individual event.
Yeah, well, Argonator at this point is going to try to force 7 pairs.
Yeah. That's a chance at the Hanimon. If they do get the Hanimon, like, at least they're fighting for a placement. I'm okay with that. It's just
Yeah, gotta play
the
your house.
confirming fourth that I don't love. Yeah, there it is. That's got to
Oh,
end
there's
it.
the deal one.
Bit of an anticlimactic end there.
Unless.
No, they're just
No.
they're emoting and then
Yep.
confirming fourth.
There it is.
All right, so there we do have it with the Kamino Keisai coming in with a huge lead in red zone, easily able to defend that there. The switch up is he wasn't able to make the full comeback, but does at least fight and get a second place, overtaking UB Snack Groups, who drops down to third.
I mean, coming into today, like, barring Kamino Keisai getting a big negative, going from third to second is probably about the best outcome you could hope for, reasonably.
Wait, maybe I did the
Did we do math?
math wrong.
Oh, it's so close.
I thought that, yeah, because I'm looking at. I think I actually got the math wrong. It looks like
To
EB
be
Snackster
fair,
did hold second place. I think
you were
I
only
calculated it
off
wrong
by
on the fly
Oh,
there.
just
you were only off
barely.
by 2,000 points.
Yeah. So it looks like it wasn't actually quite enough. Wait, no, E's. Oh, because Shimmer. Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he was only in second place. I think I messed up the UMA a bit, but yeah. So Eric was able to hold on to second place. So it is Kamino Keisai, UB Snack Groups in second, Ritsu-san in third, and then Shin Marks' spot in fourth. And yeah, that will conclude the W League. Kamino Keisai with a very dominant performance in the finals, ending with the only team with a positive score. So a well-deserved champion there.
Congratulations, Kamino Keisai. Very well played.
And congratulations to the 4 teams that made it into the finals in the first place.
All right. We'll see if maybe Kodo wants to join the call or anything to say a few words at the end of the season.
Well, if I'm being called, might as well.
Yeah, it was we finally reached the end. You ready for probably ready for a bit of a break?
Oh yeah, now I can rest finally.
You mean you're not
Yeah, it's
immediately
been
working on season 5 right now?
well. I wanted to avoid that question, but now that you are talking about that, I guess I have to. So about season 5, it will be very difficult. So I can already say that I don't think I've talked much about that with the staff, so it might be a surprise for them. But starting season 5, I will step down for leading the W League. Because personally it's taking a huge toll on me, and I can't continue like to manage the W League like that. So maybe a staff member will take the lead after me. I will still continue to support the W League, but not as the lead, but more as a staff for the W League. So now it depends on if someone wants to manage the W League, then we will see a W League season 5 and with a new leadership and maybe some changes. And if no one takes the lead, then we will see what happens. Maybe I will continue, maybe not. I don't know. So for now, W League season 5, if it happens, it's next year. If it doesn't happen, then I will probably manage some like one shot tournament that would last like for 1 or 2 weeks, like the Tokujo League and the Ho Showdown, something like that. It depends on how things will happen.
Yeah, it's
Because
definitely.
like, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's definitely a tremendous amount of work. The amount of work you have to put in to run these seasons. So yeah, very understandable. But yeah,
Yeah,
As also someone who has done tournaments before and trying to organize, especially something at this scale with 120 players over the course of so many weeks, I do like that you are recognizing that you need to take time for yourself and understand that you can't keep it up or you might burn out. But we appreciate all the work that you've already done so far. Whatever happens for next year's season 5 will happen. We'll figure that all out as it goes. But this has already been a wonderful undertaking.
yeah, thank you, Curly. And yeah, I would like to we've already thanked most of the people, like, but I would like to thank them again. Like, first of all, Cookies and Ixin for making the layout and the trailer. Obviously, the staff who work with me and had to support me uh, on the positive and negative side. Also, obviously, the host, and even if we didn't have that much this year, but we still have a lot of help from Tips, Cookies, Raf, and Navitas. All the commentators who help us commentate for the W League, and obviously the players and all the people who made some advertisement for the W League, like Shimmer from the Russian community, also some people who came from the Saki tournament, like Random Duck, the Singapore community, like Fang or Shantiest, that were brought by Markino, and also the Snake Shack group who came also to participate in the tournament. So we've had all the advertisement. Like I don't like to advertise much because I'm not good at that. But many people advertised for the W League, and I would like also to thank them because without them, we wouldn't have that many strong players, like so many Celestial, Ho-Ho, 7 and 8 Dance. I think this is the craziest tournament that we had, and when we managed when we had to build the pools for this season, it was very difficult because there were so many strong players from each pools and also some like hidden gems this season, and it was very very difficult to make things that would like look balanced. And yeah, this season was very crazy. In in the finals we saw Hote dealing, Haite dealing, Nagashi Mongan when someone was dealer in Southpaw and things like that. It was crazy. And I think the highlight for today is Elgato's Rinchan on 3, so it was crazy.
Oh, that was incredible. That's only the second time I've ever seen that Ishanten, where you actually have like your entire hand is just 4 of the same tile, and somehow it's like not Tenpai, but literally no matter what you draw, you're Tenpai.
Yeah.
Perfect Ishanten.
The ultimate
was
Ishanten. It's like a trivia question. Like, what's the widest Ishanten? It's like, no, it's not headless. It's not, it's not like Sanmen Shan. It's that. That is the widest Ishanten you can have.
Yeah, it was my first time seeing that one, so definitely it was a highlight for me.
Yeah, and then drew the 3-so. You con to try to find a different way, and then you just reach on the 3-so.
Yeah, and by the way, talking about highlights, if you had to name one highlight from the World W League, what would it be? Mob, Navitas, and Curly.
There are so many, especially all the ones that I got to see on my stream. I think it's actually going to be the very last game of my team's tournament run. Like it was an all last situation. There was a Yakumin chance in there. I don't want to spoil it too much. You can go and check the VOD. I'll have my video of it up on Friday. But I was way invested into the very last hand. And ultimately, for that kind of situation, this is the most I can hope for. Even though we didn't make it to the finals, it was entertaining and we were close up until the very, very end.
I have too much recency bias. I liked I liked the 3-so Rinshan. I don't know, like it just happened. Like I'm sure there are other moments that could compete, but like that's the moment that comes to me.
I can imagine already Tips screaming Sanzo.
Yeah, the fact that it was Sanzo too, just too good. That's the one that I have to go with.
And what about you, Mob?
Who was it? Vidro that got the Sun Baimon?
Oh,
From that
yes.
Chi? It was the Chi shifted the wall and they got a Sun Baimon.
Yeah, Navitas made the Chi.
Oh yeah. I got to experience that one from in-game.
Yeah, I also remember because after that we've posted the clip on Discord, and then Navita said, yeah, I can make the code, it doesn't cost me much, but then it costed a Tsumo bleed for Sylveon. So it was funny.
Yeah, I wasn't too. I think it cost me like 4,000 points as well or something like that. I wasn't too happy either. I guess even more Sunbeam on
So
6,000 points. Yeah. I was just
yeah,
like, yeah, I could cheat this, I could not. I might as well shift the Haite and then boom. Sunbeam on Sumo.
yeah. So Margavi is asking if we had a Chankan. No, we didn't. I think this is the only Yaku we didn't get. At least one of the rarest Yaku we didn't have in the World W League. We had some Yakumans, but never a Chankan, I think.
Yeah, no Chunkan. I don't think we've had a Sankansu in any of the years.
Yeah, no.
Missing those ones. We probably had all the other Yaku.
These one are very, really, very rare. So
Plenty of Haites and Hoites. There was a lot of Haites and Hoites this year.
yeah, I think the saddest Hote Dinin was from Elizabeth K. Isabel K. Sorry, she was Tempai for Chitoy and she pushed a tile for Hote and she doubled Dinin into one Mongan and one Oya Mongan. So minus 20k in one Dinin. It was very unfortunate.
Mira also had like a Hoite Dylan. Wait, was that this year?
No, it was
That was last year.
That was last year? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
The
It still
Hanuman,
comes to
the
me, I
Hanuman
guess.
Honitsu, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait, maybe we can go back into memory if I can find it.
We've had a lot of Haites and Hoites.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most common Yaku in the rarest Yaku that we had.
For anyone who hasn't seen the triple Ron Hoite from Dustin in an ARML game, it is a hilarious clip. I don't exactly have it saved, but if you could try to find that on the internet somewhere, the triple Ron Hoite, I think it's my favorite clip of all time. Maybe I could find it.
That one's brutal.
Yeah. And wait, if it was not on Tenho, then there was no triple Huron aborted then.
Armel doesn't do triple run abort, I don't think.
No, yeah, it was not aborted.
Okay.
It was the full payout.
I see.
But
I can't find it. It's way too. Oh, yeah, I found it. I think it's
friendly
this one.
Hote.
Yeah. So I posted in chat so that if anyone wants to see that one, this is a very. And funnily enough, Navitas was also commentating this one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But yeah, we have so many good memories from the W League. Like if we go from back to season 1, we were 36 players, and it was very chaotic in terms of management. We had some. I was the only one with Raf managing the tournament, and we learned a lot from the feedbacks and yeah, that's how we evolved a tournament, taking the feedbacks from everyone. But for season 5, we will wait a bit and see how it goes. Like we will have a discussion with the staff if someone wants to take the lead or not. But personally, I can't. So if we can't do a double league season 5, then we'll try to do some like something that I've already called the K showdowns with like having some showdowns that will be limited to some rank. So, for example, only Saint and Celestial, only Masters, only Expert and Adept, and so on. And we can maybe try to do that since this kind of tournament would last for 1 or 2 weekends, so it will be very fast to manage and to run. So you can maybe expect maybe 1 or 2 K showdown this year after August, maybe something like that. We will see. So stay tuned. Maybe we will see. Maybe we can see 1 or 2 small tournaments.
All right. Well, yeah. For now, I'll just take a nice long break after all the work you've done. Definitely been a fun season for sure.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
biggest one by far. There's a full 10 weeks of regular season and then 2 rounds of playoffs. It was definitely quite the undertaking that reached the conclusion of.
Yeah. And again, thanks everyone who supported, read it, talk about it, and the person who also participated in the Kcast, even if now I don't have the time to do some right now, but it was also fun to do the Kcast with Curly as the first guest.
Yeah,
So
thanks
yeah,
for
it was
having me on,
definitely
man.
a fun one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's it for me. I don't know if someone wants to add something.
I think we've
Think we're all set.
wrapped up the season. Yeah, congratulations again to Kamino Keisei. Enjoy your new Discord role
Yeah, I will
as
add you
champions of
right now.
the league.
Yeah, so if talking about the rules, so if the players from Camino Case don't like the color they will have, they can ask me and then I will change the color if it doesn't suit them. I can do that. And if we have to rate someone, there is a Mahjong Gen that is streaming right now
can rate Jen.
on round 2, I think.
How do you feel about a clip with a bit of mild swearing? That's true. Because I found the triple round clip, and it is just for anyone who hasn't seen it, it is just absolute gold. So I think I'll pull that up real quick here. This is just. I forgot this was actually in the finals as well. This is
as long as
no. Oh my boy.
It is a QETC or Dustin.
Yeah,
QETC. As our perspective here, and this clip is just incredible.
Oh, do I? So, fuck it. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh what the fuck? Oh fuck, dude! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck, man? I didn't. Oh fuck, dude! What the fuck is that shit, man? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, they do each one by
hold
one.
on.
Well,
just a legendary clip.
Yep, just casually losing almost half your points. No big deal.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it had to be on Cheatoy.
Yeah, of course. The ultimate bait. Oops.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, yeah. I think that's yeah. I guess I'll go ahead and raid Jen. Yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah, for people who don't know Jen, she's a Mahjong pro players, also playing in the ARML, so she's definitely a strong player.
Let's go ahead and send the raid. And, yeah, hopefully see you guys all again for some event at some time in the foreseeable future, but it's definitely been a fun time playing doing season 4 with you all.
Absolutely.
Make sure I have her name right. Okay, it is just Mahjong Jen. People keep raiding I think it's like Tips or someone who says they keep trying to raid the wrong Navitas. They forget the numbers or something, and there's like a different Navitas Twitch account that keeps getting raided.
Yeah.
I do have to double check your numbers each
Yeah.
time.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, and this is actually the final sign off.
All right, have a good one, everyone.